Of the ashes, the spirits light up the night, looking down the edge of forever. So stop me or take my advice.
Now, from the Untold Radio Network, it's Untold Radio AM with Doug and Alex Hajicek.
Welcome episode 165. Thank you, Jennifer. So, how are you? Did you survive Halloween?
Yeah. Did you hand out any candy?
Oh my God, it was insane this year. It was so many people. I thought nobody would come. It was 22 degrees out, windy, snow on the ground. I thought, it's going to be dead.
But it wasn't.
I thought I could just eat all the leftover candy. So just buy tons of it.
Yeah.
You got a great excuse. $300 worth of candy, which isn't that necessarily that much. And I did not do the bowl. You put the honor bowl out.
Yeah.
Didn't do that.
You didn't do
Didn't
the
have
honor
the heart
bowl.
for it. No. Because there were a whole bunch of Ring videos of kids taking the whole bowl. There's just tons of them that were coming in, like literally. So Asia and Dakota and hubby Bo and granddaughter came over. We had dinner and they handed out candy.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so I didn't have to do a damn thing except eat candy. I get to sample candy.
Yeah, just the sampling.
Yeah, I tried some new things I've never tried.
Like
Things I will never eat again, like Sour Patch Punch.
Oh, geez.
No. Doesn't
No.
doesn't fit with my old taste buds. It's like, why would somebody want something so sour and then covered with sugar? It didn't make any sense.
I don't know. Sounds like the perfect combo.
Did you guys have kids?
No.
You did Lights Out?
We did Lights Out because the cat just wants to escape at any given opportunity. So
you didn't feel like locking him in a room?
Oh, then she cries and she cries like a baby.
So because of the cat, all these kids went hungry.
I know. Sacrifices had to be made.
And then today, in between eating Tootsie Rolls, it's kind of pretty much all that was left. I love Tootsie Rolls. The
classic.
The classic. They're chewy. They have no calories, zero calories.
Zero.
So you need 100 of them. Yeah, zero.
I think they're negative calories.
Oh, yeah, negative. Oh, yeah. So, but I was investigating a new camera. These copycats are doing surveillance cameras. There's like 80 brands of Ring cameras out now, and there's other camera, but this camera is called Camtrix, and I did like it because it's round and it's small. And to me, squares don't go in nature. If you're going to do a camera trap, do a round one. Yeah. A lot of round things in nature. Berries. Holes in trees.
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
It's the right one.
In the forest. Oh, by the way, that was so funny in the Zoom meeting. We had a Zoom meeting for Untold Radio Network, all of the different podcasts. So we had our quarterly meeting. And at one point, Alex was giving examples of something. He mentioned if you're in the store buying tiny wieners, and I interrupted and I go, Alex, why did you use tiny wieners as an example? And he just turned bright red. It was pretty funny.
He's
turning red again. Oh my God. And I told Joe that story and he goes, I was in the store actually looking for tiny wieners the other day, for cocktail wieners.
See, I mean, they're a hot item.
Yeah, they are. Apparently, they're giving away samples of tiny wieners in all the grocery
Ask Adam.
stores. Yeah, ask Adam about tiny wieners. Okay, well, oh, maybe tiny wieners is the preferred bait for Bigfoot.
It could be.
Could be. I wonder if anybody's tried like Johnsonville sausages. I don't know. But anyhow, I was looking at this camera. I don't know a lot about it, but it looks promising. I don't think it records sound because they don't mention it. It does record in high def. It does have a USB. It does have a built-in battery. So I get hopeful, right? But it didn't say whether it was waterproof, but I assume it is. You can't really have a surveillance camera, at least rated at IP65, if it's not, somewhat waterproof. But they're small. So I have a lot of questions. So what I'm going to do is buy one or two, and me and Adam will shake them out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Shake them out.
Shake them out. It's called Cam. In fact, Adam, you can look it up. It's called Camtrix.
Camtrix.
Camtrix, like the cereal. Camtrix. $34 each.
34. That's it.
Right now for 24.
Talk about a steal.
Yeah. But they work on an app, so you can have more than one daisy chained together. Yeah.
Chain them up.
Chain them up.
Let them rip.
USB powered. That means you can power them with an auxiliary phone battery. Those cheap.
Nice. Yeah, the cheap phone batteries.
Yeah, which is cool because those are inexpensive too.
And they're everywhere.
Yes. So we'll report back after we do a shakeout on if this is any promising or if it's just a gimmick. Speaking of surveillance cameras, so our tonight's guest really put new meaning behind surveillance cameras, living alone in the forest last summer with 22 different surveillance cameras. When we worked together, I was kind of ground crew, base crew where I was safe.
Yeah.
In my office.
That's where I like
just
to be.
Go down that thing and go, Adam, I need to get out and do some wood knocks in the middle of the night. Things like that.
Get out there in your underwear. Do some.
And he would, yeah, he would. And he'd go, he'd kind of argue with me sometimes. But he would do it. Guy's got guts, man.
Yeah, he does have guts, I'll tell you. And he still got him.
Solo camp for 30 days. Yeah, solo camp for 30 days. And he called it the summer of Sasquatch.
The summer
and I called it the scary summer of Sasquatch.
Yes, spooky.
It was
for
scary.
Halloween.
Trust me, he was scared. Okay, and then speaking of cameras, Mark Peterson sent me 2 weird videos from his game cams that I really don't have any explanation. Basically, one show, I'll tell you what they are, then we'll play them. One shows a deer kind of galloping, almost looks playful to me because it's, they're hoppy. They get a little more hoppy when they're not scared. And there's a coyote chasing it. And then another one happened, and it's now a fox chasing, which looks like the same deer. And I'm going, what is going on here? So I do know dogs can befriend deer. They have. But I don't know, coyotes and fox are canids. You got that look. Are you having trouble? What are you looking for? Don't it?
You're gonna hate me. I was finishing something up today. I'm trying to desperately download that clip you sent to my phone, didn't you? Those games.
Yeah, sent them to your phone. They're weird. You really want to play them.
Yeah. What else can you tell us about them? Is there any other context?
Well, it was taken in northern Minnesota. The gentleman Mark Peterson who filmed them with his game cams, he had never seen anything like it. It would have been really cool if it would have been a fox chasing a Bigfoot, but it wasn't. So video 1 you want to put up first. It's just weird. And you're going to realize we do not understand the symbiotic relationships. For all we know, the fox is chasing the deer to eat its poop.
So Do you think we'll ever get footage, like really good footage from a game trail camera
Of what?
of a Bigfoot?
I don't know. I doubt it.
You think so?
No, you're freezing up and then speeding up. Really weird stuff going on with your camera now. You literally went slow motion, froze, you're frozen again, and then you sped up. You're
That's not
completely
good.
frozen. And now you're speeding up again. What do you think's going on?
That's being live for you.
Man, you just look like Speedy Gonzalez tonight. Now you're locked up. Anybody else noticing Alex is looking a little bit like a robot tonight? Here we go. So you see the deer, it's like a short, and look at this, that's the fox. It just chases after the deer, and it looks like he stops there. Is that the fox stop there? Play it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fox runs and then stops. It's quite weird. Or that's the end of the clip,
Yeah.
which is probably what's more likely. So then on the same trail camera, I believe, go ahead and play the other one. Similar clip, this time they're coming towards the camera. And now there's a coyote who do not generally prey on adult deer. It's just not going to happen.
Okay.
Can't find it?
I got it.
Well, you don't look like you got it. You look like you don't got it. Do you got it?
I got it.
Well,
I got
play
it.
it.
Well, what do you find so interesting about?
You're just stalling for time.
Yeah, I am totally stalling for time. Is
It's
it that
because
obvious?
it's just weird. Why is a fox chasing a deer and why is a coyote chasing a deer?
There we go.
There's some symbiotic relationship.
Okay.
Okay, what?
I got it.
Well, then play it. It's not playing.
Oh, of course.
What's going on? Oh, man. We can move on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Look at that. What's going on here?
What?
With the deer being chased by a coyote.
Oh, he's gonna eat the deer.
They don't eat deer unless the deer's dead.
Oh,
Yeah, they'll gang up, but this is a single coyote, and they don't look like they're in a hot pursuit. They look more playful. You know, like, hey, let's go over here. You know what I mean? That does not look like a prey situation.
No.
It just doesn't. It's too casual. But whatever. I could be wrong. Yeah, and I'm sure, coyotes can gang up on deer and try to take down a deer. I just don't think it happens often.
It's just strange.
Certainly something has not been recorded much. Nope. Anyhow, enough of that. So another weird thing that caught my eye this weird is there's a bird in New Zealand that has been thought to be extinct since 1898, found again in the middle of the 20th century. And the coolest thing is it's very much like the dodo, but it's making a huge comeback. And it's called the Takahe. Taki. And it's a large flightless bird like the dodo. It's pretty though.
It's super pretty.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And apparently they live in grasslands. They live out in the open, and that's why they get overhunted and they go extinct. So apparently they found a whole new population of these things, just like recently. And they stand about 1.5 feet high. And they have a unique sound, but it's really annoying. Do not listen to it.
Do not listen to it.
Yeah, if you want to look it up, I was going to put it up, but I went, nah, it's too annoying. Takahe is how you spell the bird. Okay.
Cool.
And then the government has put out a calling for any government workers that have seen a UFO to contact the Pentagon. Kind of weird.
Really?
Yes. So they apparently, and let me read here, it says the current or former, so you can be a former government employee. You can be a mailman, I guess, right? That's a government employee.
Exactly.
Current or former U.S. government employees, service members, and contractors with direct knowledge of government UFO programs, UFO activity, can now voluntarily submit a report with the Pentagon's All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. Right?
Yeah.
The ADARO.
ADARO.
Yeah, but they call it the AARO. So the director told the reporters on Tuesday. So Sean Kirkpatrick, who leads the office is tasked with researching and analyzing UFO reports, said he's seen no evidence, none, of any secret U.S. government program regarding reverse engineering or researching extraterrestrials or UFOs. And of course, we know that's a big lie.
Oh, of course it is.
It's the biggest lie ever told. Okay. Enough of that crap. Yeah, we were talking about candy earlier, and candy's just getting weirder, and it is getting weird. Oh, by the way, I swear to God, there were a bunch of chocolate bars that somebody, I didn't buy the bag, but it was made in China and literally had bad English on the thing.
Yeah.
And I had to try one because it was written so bad. It said chocolate with exploding, fizzing, whatever deals. You know what was in it? Rice Krispies. Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah.
But it didn't come across in translation.
It didn't.
But it was good chocolate. I have to admit, it was better than a lot of U.S. chocolate I eat. But it was just so funny. Why is it the Chinese will never, ever hire a U.S. interpreter to interpret their packages? They make e-bikes, and they have the stupidest names on them.
Yeah, like what's
like an e-bike that's called Be Cool. Nobody wants to ride a bike with the words "Be Cool" on it. Or I saw one the other day, Fashion Bike.
Ooh.
So the translations do not work.
Yeah.
Why don't they just hire me to say, hey, we'd like to name this e-bike. We need a cool name.
Doug is on it.
Yeah, I mean, but for all this stuff, it's like, really? Just Chinese does not translate to English.
It just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work at all. Would you ride a bike that's called Be Cool?
I mean, I would, but I'm kind of lame.
Bike? Oh, my God. But back to chocolate, there's a lot of weird things like Snickers peanut brownies.
Snickers.
I mean, you just got to try one just because you want to try it. Because it's newfangled. Of course, there's things like Pop Rocks, Reese's peanut butter cups with pretzels. So you get pretzels, worms, and chocolate. Did I say worms?
Yeah.
I did. I meant. I didn't mean worms. That would never happen.
No.
Anyhow, but I do remember in the old days when we go trick-or-treating, Alex, we would get like handfuls of candy corn. Things like apples. You might get something like a popcorn ball wrapped with homemade cellophane. You know what I mean?
Wholesome stuff.
Just, yes. Well, I wasn't saying it was good back then. Could you imagine being out with your candy corn in the bottom of the bag, and it's raining?
That doesn't sound very good.
Well. But a lot of times you'd come home and you have tons of candy corn. Of course, you dump out your candy on the carpet when you're 5 years old, and it's, you got candy corn all over the carpet, and your little brother comes along and steps on it, and of course grinds it into the carpet.
Ugh.
But I just thought, I don't know, I would imagine a lot of our audience knows what candy corn is. You do, right?
Of
Alex?
course.
You've tried it.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I mean, I'll eat it.
You'll eat it.
Yeah, I'll eat it.
How about circus peanuts? Will you eat those?
Yeah. Not Not happily, but you
Not
know,
happily? Okay.
that's all we got.
I used to love circus peanuts when I was a little kid.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't look at one now. But anyhow, but there's some interesting facts about candy corn. For instance, August 30th is National Candy Corn Day.
That's when everyone comes out and gets their corn.
And apparently there's this huge debate. People have been killed over it on the debate on how to eat candy corn. Do you eat it from the white tip
Of course. Yeah, the white tip.
and nibble it, or from the bottom?
No, you gotta start at the small tip.
Yeah, I think you just shove it all in your mouth. That's fine. You
Just put the whole thing in your mouth.
did you know? Okay, take a guess of what year this candy was invented. What year?
1926.
Not a bad guess. It was invented in the 1880s, right? And now it's been purchased by the Jelly Belly Company, but originally was manufactured by the Golitz Confectionery Company. Oh.
And that's the name brand candy corn?
Yeah, candy corn. But apparently it is a low calorie snack. Each piece of candy corn only has 7 calories.
Okay.
It's all that paraffin they put in there.
So.
Or whatever they put in there. I don't know.
Yeah, but I eat candy corn by the fistful.
Yeah. Well, it's, you can have a whole fistful and have only 100 calories. Apparently it's an ideal. It says it's an ideal choice for dieters.
Oh, yeah.
It still is a Halloween favorite, although sales are going down.
Yeah.
But still a favorite. Candy corn used to cost 25 cents a pound when I was a kid, right?
That must have been nice.
Guess what it costs now?
$2.50 a pound?
$9 a pound.
$9 a pound? Who is buying
It's a 3,500% price increase.
Oh.
No, it wasn't 25 cents a pound when I was a kid. That was 140 years ago. I'm not that old. But it was cheap. I remember. Yeah. I'm sure it was more than 50 cents. So inflation's been up 3,500%. So they apparently make 3,500 pounds of this candy corn every hour.
Who's eating all this stuff?
People. I don't know. People with bowls of candy corn on their table.
Adam, do you have any candy corn back there?
I bet you Adam loves candy corn. I can just tell. I bet he does. Want to make a bet whether he likes it or not?
All right. I'll bet you $5.
I'll bet you $5. So they make 9 billion kernels every year of candy corn. 9 billion.
9 billion.
Yeah. So now you know when they give, $20 billion to a country. You gotta know that's a lot of dough, right?
Yes.
All right. And that's pretty much it. Oh, they make 35 million pounds a year.
Oh my gosh.
35 million pounds a year. Somebody's eating this crap and pooping it out.
Where'd you go?
Where'd who go?
You're gone.
I'm here. I'm not gone. You heard my voice, right?
I was getting a little lonely.
I don't know. You can be on there. You're on the spotlight.
No.
I'm in control.
I don't want to be in the spotlight.
Okay. Okay. So let's do Untold trivia. It's not going to be a lot. Most of them will be in true and false tonight, right? Let's see if the audience can beat Alex in trivia.
All right.
Are you ready?
Do it.
All right. Oh, we want you in the spotlight, see? Okay. The record for the tallest human in the world is almost 9 feet tall. Is that true or false? 9 feet.
True.
That's true. It's sort of true. Robert Wadlow measured 8 foot 11 inches. Tallest guy in the world. 3 strikes in a row in bowling is called an eagle. True or false?
False.
You're right. It's called a turkey. So if you're bullying and you get 3 strikes in a row, it's a turkey. Remember that. Impress your friends. Like you go bully once in a while, don't you?
Yeah, I want to show off.
Oh, you know those rental balls that they have?
Yeah.
And they did a study and they found the holes were jammed with feces in the rental balls, the free ones that you can use. The holes were jammed. We call them poop holes.
That's a perfect thing to pair with the finger foods.
Yeah, think about that. Take your hand bowling, eating a burger.
Hot dog.
Okay, never mind. Okay, a cheetah
Chicken
is
wings.
the fastest animal on the planet. Answer true or false?
Is a cheetah the fastest animal? Yeah.
False.
False.
They're just the fastest land animal.
Oh.
The falcon beats them. France was responsible for inventing and giving us French fries. True or false?
False.
You're correct. Despite the name, Belgium actually introduced French fries. Yeah?
What?
I don't know. You were just kind
Where's the next question? I knew.
Grasshoppers are mainly eaten in the United States. True or false?
False.
You're correct. They're mostly eaten in Mexico and parts of Central America.
Which is a shame. We gotta.
I did read an article though yesterday that just grossed me out. That was it Tyson or somebody did a big announcement that they're going to start putting grubs and crap in their meat. Ugh. It's like, no, I don't know if it was true. Grilled cheese is the most popular sandwich in the United States. True or false? Grilled cheese.
No.
It's not?
It's not.
You want to bet $5?
No, because you know the answer.
Yeah, but you want to bet $5. How confident are you?
Oh, my confidence is like 30%.
The answer is true.
It is? Really?
Yep. And it's often enjoyed with tomato soup.
Man, I was voting for the ham sandwich.
Okay, speaking of food and favorites, mushrooms are the most favorite popular pizza topping in the U.S. True or false?
False. It's pepperoni.
It's pepperoni. And you must have Googled that. Did you Google that? Admit it.
No, everyone gets pepperoni.
You serious?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say you did really good tonight.
Oh, you're giving me the softball questions.
There weren't softball questions. Not at all. All right, let's move on here. We'll keep things moving. Let's go to some clips.
All right. Gonna do some clips.
Then after the clips, we're gonna bring Adam on. Okay. Clip 1. Sound is good. Don't play it. This is the most expensive real estate in the world. Look how ugly it is. Would you want to live there?
No.
That's just gross. I mean, all the windows are the same. It doesn't look great. But you have to have, in order to get into this apartment building, you have to have $100 million cash in the bank.
$100 million
cash in the bank. Free and clear. Not in stocks. You got to have it in the bank. To even be considered to be able to live in this dismal place. Go ahead and play it.
This building has the highest concentration of billionaires in the country, if not the world. Applicants must show a net worth of $100 million liquid before being able to be considered. Where is this located? Well, as you surmise, this is 740 Park Avenue. The building doesn't even look all that beautiful. So why are people in it and who is in it? And yes, John D. Rockefeller used to live here. And today, these are the billionaires that are currently occupying this space. Woody Johnson, heir to the Johnson & Johnson family, and of course, the owner of the New York Jets, resides here. Stephen Mnuchin, former United States Secretary of Treasury, resides here. He is also the owner of Blackstone. David Koch lives here of Koch Enterprises. He's the 11th richest person in the world with a wealth of approximately $50 billion. And of course, you may know him as the Dixie Cup
Okay,
guy.
enough of that crap.
Complete.
You get the idea, right?
Yeah.
There's what you got to look forward to. If you ever make $100 million,
An ugly
go live in that
building.
ugly building. Yeah, like really. Okay, clip 2. The sound is good. Do you believe in telekinesis? This guy said, "Here's a way you can prove it, that it exists." Go ahead and play it.
Here's some proof for you that you can change world events or anything else that you want to change in your life.
Move objects with your
Take a little ball like this, okay, or any other little ball, and place it on the edge of a table or furniture or anywhere else where there's not a lot of resistance. Make sure that there's no wind in the house or anything like that that can influence it, okay? And once you have it on the edge, sit distant to it, like a few feet, whatever, 6, 7 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet across the room, doesn't matter. And look at it, observe it, feel your connection with it, be nice and calm. And now all you want to do is visualize it, see it, literally doing whatever it is that you want it to do. In this case, see it rolling off the table and falling
enough of that.
on.
So do you believe in telekinesis?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Why?
I mean, why wouldn't it be real?
I don't know.
Do you
ever
believe
tried
in
it? I have dreams.
You've had dreams?
But I have telekinesis. Sure, I've had plenty of dreams like that. It's kind of, they're fun dreams.
I like the possibility of it, you know?
Yeah, could be real.
Could be
So you got to
not.
practice that. You and Elsa can get a ball, and I don't know. I just think there's so many wind currents in a home.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty tough. You know, you'd have to like put an ice cream bucket over the top to block the wind.
We're going to have to ask Adam if he believes in telekinesis.
Yeah, he probably does. Okay, what do we got? Oh, this is really interesting, clip 3. Sound is good. Only because I've had this, not only an instinct, but have, collected my own evidence that Bigfoots look like blue, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about this. But this is a new study this guy's going to talk about. Go ahead and play it.
Can deer see your blaze orange vest and gear when you're in the woods?
Uh-oh.
Can deer see your blaze orange vest and gear when you're in the woods?
What'd you do? Download half of it?
No.
I think you're having internet problems tonight.
Can deer see your blaze orange vest and gear when you're in the woods?
Try to skip ahead.
Okay.
With that cursor, skip ahead. I think I can explain it. Not working?
Hold on here.
And gear when you're in the woods hunting. Researchers at the University.
I think your internet's going doo-doo. I got mine fixed.
Oh, yeah. So now mine has to go out.
Yep. Somewhere there's a little government official that's going, let's mess with
blaze
it.
orange vest and gear when you're in the woods hunting.
All right.
Researchers at the University of Georgia looked at this. They studied deer eyes. They studied the deer retina, and they examined the number of color receptors in the deer's retina compared to our own. What they found was deer see poorly in the orange, yellow, and red end of the spectrum. So reds don't pop to deer like they do for us. Reds might appear brown or
Still lagging.
Why don't you just explain it? Might just be the clip is fried too. We'll see if we got problems with that.
I don't think so because you're fried. You're freezing up constantly. Now you have no audio. There's something wrong with your internet, man.
Well,
okay, so what it is, basically the bottom line is deer see blue better than any color. That's the color that they see better than any color. They're saying do not wear blue jeans if you go deer hunting.
Do not.
Do not. Nope. And of course he explains a little more, detailed, but apparently blue is just vibrant and very beautiful to deer. Okay. And I thought, well, if it's that way for deer, maybe it's that way for a Bigfoot. Maybe. All right, let's go to clip 4, no sound. I'll have to just explain it. But apparently around Chernobyl during that, nuclear accident, apparently a lot of people were reporting, including government people, were reporting some type of a Mothman creature. Go ahead and play it, but no sound. So during the disaster, helicopter pilots reported it. They call it the Blackbird of Chernobyl. 20-foot wingspan, red eyes. So there you go. Thought it was interesting. I'd never heard that before.
Oh, I haven't heard that either.
No. All right. Clip 5. Sound is good. Some dude dropped $1 million in cash in $1 bills out of a helicopter. I don't know where it definitely looks legit. I know it wasn't in my neighborhood, and just watch these people picking these up. It's very calm. Found that surprising. Nobody's in a hurry. Go ahead and play it. So the guy that made the video says he's dropped $1 million out of a helicopter to people. It's probably somewhere in Europe. Everybody's just kind of being chill. Their bags. You'd have to, it'd be a lot of work because they're $1 bills.
Yeah.
But could you imagine the vast area that would cover? Be fun.
My gosh.
But who does that?
Just drops that kind of money.
I think he should have done it in $10 bills.
$10 bills.
Oh, yeah, at least 10s. I think. All right, clip 6. So we everybody knows we live in the Milky Way, right?
Right.
It's our galaxy. But people don't think of what's the real shape. Most people think it's just like a cloud. It's spread out evenly, right? Mm-hmm. It's wide, it's tall, but it's actually 100 times taller than it is wide. So it's like a pancake. So I have this famous gentleman explain it. Go ahead.
We live in a thin galaxy. You say, how thin is it?
It's a tiny wiener galaxy.
Is it flatter than a flapjack? Yes, it is. In fact, the galaxy is 100 times wider than it is thick. And the only thing I can think of that has those proportions is like a crepe. So the Milky Way galaxy, a spiral galaxy, and nearly all other spiral galaxies in the universe are crepes. Now we, the solar system, are embedded within the crepe. But the galaxy is so thin that you can see out of it by looking above or below the disk. But if you look within the disk, it's very hard to see out of the galaxy.
That's enough.
So
enough of that crap. You get the idea, right?
Yeah.
All right. Would you wear one of these? Apparently, they have found out, I think we've talked about this before, where dragonfly pins will keep bugs away in the summer. Mosquitoes, biting flies. I've never tried it. I would love to try it, but I wouldn't try this one. he took the concept one step further. Go ahead and play this.
Oh boy.
Sold almost $1 million of these
and gross sales.
How much have you invested?
Look at
To
this.
date, under $10,000.
What?
Hello, dragons. I'm Mike Dunlop from King, Ontario.
Could you imagine
I'm
walking
here with
into
the
the
Dragonfly Wingman. and I'm
grocery
asking
store?
for $100,000 for 20% of my business. It all began years ago.
All right, that's enough. You
When
get
I
to
was
see it. It's supposed to work. I mean, it makes sense.
Would you wear it if you knew it worked?
Well, maybe in the woods if I was alone. But that thing's going to be bouncing all over. Doing,
Oh,
doing,
yeah.
doing, doing. Okay. Did you know that your head and your feet are on different time zones?
I didn't know that.
Like your head will age less than your feet. Your head's older than your feet.
It is.
You're born at the same time, but your head has gotten older and your feet have gotten younger. Serious.
That's weird. That's so weird.
This will explain it. Go ahead. Clip 9.
My goodness, this is crazy.
No,
This
no,
is
no,
a very
no, no,
famous
that's
high.
not clip 9. That's clip 10. Or no, that isn't even clip 10. Oh, that's clip 8. Okay, I want to skip clip 8. Go to clip 9.
You know how weird time is? If you have two twins that are 20 years old.
Here we go. All right, that's no good.
And you sent one of them to the star Sirius at 99% the speed of light and then flew that are 20 years old, and you sent one of them to the star Sirius at 99% the speed of light and then flew back again. The twin who stayed on Earth would be 37 years old, and the twin who is traveling would only be 22 years old. Every single person on Earth, including you, is living in the past because our brains don't perceive an event until about 80 milliseconds after it's already happened. It is a very fine line, but that's why some physicists argue that there's no such thing as the present moment. The way that you perceive the passing of time is heavily dependent on the language you use. People in most Western cultures perceive the passing of time as being left to right because that's how we write, but other cultures perceive it as up to down, east to west, or right to left. Time is actually passing faster for your face than it is for your feet because the closer you are to the center of the Earth, the slower time moves. A year at the top of Mount Everest is 15 microseconds shorter than it is at sea level.
There you go. So your head is probably 1 microsecond younger. What happened? Oh, you're getting cat allergies, aren't you? I can see it in your eyes. Cat allergies. If you pet a cat and touch your eyes, that's what happens. Your mic's off. Your mic is off. I don't know what's going on with Alex.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay, what's the next clip?
You petted your cat.
Yeah.
And you rubbed your eyes, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm screwed.
Yeah. The only way to take care of that is like Dawn your soap and lots of cleaning in the eyes and I hate that feeling. Itches.
Yeah, it's
Clip
brutal.
10 is a sound is good, but this shark attacks his boat like 8 different times. Filmed from a drone. Go ahead.
This massive shark attacked my friend's boat. I was flying.
What is going on?
Your internet's
Shark
kaput.
attacked my friend's boat. I was flying my drone at the beach and spotted 2 huge cobia swimming with a
No, forget it. I think we got to give up the clips tonight. Hang it up. It's not working.
the ocean.
Let's give it one
So
more
I called
shot.
my buddy Carl, and he raced over to try to catch them. I was following his boat with my drone, and then all of a sudden, the shark attacked his engines.
The thing really smacked his motor. So you wonder. I don't think the motor's on
Shark
either.
attacked the boat 5 5 times, swam away, and then came back.
So
to
are they?
shore.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like the motor's on.
No, it's not.
In total, the shark attacked Carl's boat 8 times.
We're thinking, maybe he grabbed the propeller. We weren't expecting the damage that we had when we got back to the dock, and it was just astronomical. The whole middle of the engine is completely ripped out. The trim tab's broken, and I didn't think a shark could actually shake the boat like that. The boat was shaking like a bag of popcorn, like literally.
It's interesting.
Like an earthquake. I was like, what's going on? I went back there, and I noticed it was the shark doing it. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like a ride from Universal Studios.
That's scary.
Yep. A little bonus clip. Drones are getting really, really, really fast. 200 kilometers from 0 to 200 kilometers an hour in 1 second. Go ahead and watch this. That is freaky. That doesn't really give you a perspective of that. Start from 0 is what's impressive. Go ahead and play the beginning again.
That is so fast.
Yeah, that's scary. All right, so here's a double bonus, the next clip. They are installing drones in cars, so if traffic's bad, right? You can't see. You try to look left, you try to look right, you can't see what's going on. You just send your drone up, and you can see what's going on with the traffic. Go ahead.
Oh, awesome.
This brand new 4x4 square G-Wagon has a secret, and that's that it's got a drone built inside of it that will launch from the roof, fly ahead of you, and show you what's in front of you. So if you come up on the ladder here, you'll notice the roof rack, and it's got that little loading bay right there. Well, what is that for? Let me show you.
We could install one like that on your Toyota, Alex. Take the chainsaw.
Oh, yeah, to the roof.
Button
Oh, yeah.
right here. Watch what happens.
That's so cool.
It is cool.
What do you think? Is it practical though, or is it just like?
I don't know. How do I know?
Would you?
Yeah,
would you
John
ever-
says they use them in NASCAR.
That makes a lot of sense.
Texas Jack says, damn, I had that idea years ago. Should have done something with it. Yep. Says, John Ayers says, thanks, Alex. You ruined it for us. LOL. Oh, my God. Okay, so let's, we can go to commercial, a little tiny commercial break, right?
Yep, and then we'll have Adam on.
Then we'll have Adam on.
Oh, awesome.
Hello, once again, to everybody out there in Untold Radio Land. This is Brendan Brown, host of the fastest 30 minutes in the cryptid world, This Week in Bigfoot. Here's what we got coming up in this week's show. We head back to Kentucky as Thomas Markham uncovers howls and strange sounds coming from deep within the Appalachians. Mike Lucci takes a look at the trouble with Patty. Snowwalker Prime's had enough with dead hogs in a brand new 2 Minutes With, and the Bigfoot Rundown returns with more video reels and clips for you to dissect. These stories and a whole lot more this Sunday night at 6:15 on the next This Week in Bigfoot, only on CARC Universal. You better be there.
Hangar One Publishing. Books that explore the unknown.
They're after my story.
Legends leap off the pages of our books.
You think you're the only one? They're under my heels too.
From UFOs to cryptids, Bigfoot and beyond.
Who's behind all this?
Hangar One Publishing, where every legend is revealed.
It's Hangar One Publishing. They're unraveling all of our mysteries.
Dive in, real videos, sights and sounds with our immersive book technology.
I guess our secrets are out now. But in the best possible way.
From Bigfoot tracks to galactic trails, we cover it all.
We should get out of here before it's too late. You're right, let's plan.
Escaping reality dive into ours. Hangar One Publishing, revealing the universe's best-kept secrets, one book at a time.
Show your support for the Untold Radio Network family of shows and join in on the conversation by using super stickers and super chats on YouTube. Got a question you want answered? Ask it live via a super chat and get real-time responses from our shows, knowledgeable hosts, and guests. Help keep the Untold Radio Network shows running strong. We need your support. Send your super chats and stickers now.
Hey Untold Radio Network fans, want exclusive perks and to support our channel? Introducing our YouTube membership program with 3 amazing levels. Get loyalty badges that level up to different cryptids the longer you're a supporter. How cool is that? You'll also get access to custom Bigfoot emojis and priority in chat. Upgrade to Backstage Pass for exclusive wallpapers, photos, status updates, discounted books, and merchandise. Go all in with the producer level for everything mentioned plus member shoutouts. Ready for an enhanced experience? Join now, pick your membership level, and let's make this journey even more exciting together.
Did you notice we disclaimed Adam? He's been disclaimed.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that one.
So our next guest, Adam Colt, has been disclaimed. He is a tech whiz, okay?
Yeah.
And he is working with Legend Meet Science too. He's also traveled alone, set up camp for 30 days alone, solo. He did have a couple of visitors, but he didn't want the visitors. I don't think. But we tried many, many different things. Had some interesting things happen up there. But anyhow, let's just go ahead and bring on the bravest man in the world, Adam Colt.
Hey, Adam.
Hey guys. Hi.
You ever thought you'd be introduced as the bravest man in the world?
Never.
Or maybe I should have said the dumbest man in the world.
There you go.
Because if you'd have been eaten by a Bigfoot or a bear,
It would have been live on camera, though. That's what would have been.
Yeah, it's true. It would have
gone viral for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
You would have lived on forever.
I would have sold the footage to the Inquirer.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Hey, I love the chill vibe tonight, guys. Let's keep the chill. You guys are so chill tonight. It's so much fun.
Yeah, we're definitely chill. I was up at 4 a.m, headed out of town. Had a really weird thing happen. I met a guy from what's it called, Auschwitz, who was in the concentration camps. Met a guy, and he had the tattoo on and everything. It was crazy. Old German guy, and we had something in common that was freaky. I'm not even ready to tell the story. It was so freaky. It was bizarre. So anyhow, that happened today, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Set the tone for you.
Yeah, it was definitely magical. It was a magical moment.
I did want to answer your question from earlier. No, I do not like candy corn.
Damn it.
And
do I owe Alex $5?
Yes.
Yep. However, they're making new gourmet candy corn now. That's kind of like the gourmet jelly beans. Because I never liked jelly beans growing up either, but the gourmet jelly beans are amazing. And I think the gourmet candy corn is going to be better too.
Oh, okay. So, I'll have to try some.
We'll call it a draw.
I got a question for Alex.
Alex, look up gourmet candy corn on Amazon. See if there is any.
No.
What did you have to ask me, Adam?
Yeah, do you eat candy corn?
I do.
When you poop, does it look the same when it comes out?
That's corn, real corn.
I know. I have one Halloween comment. We gave out candy last night too, and the kids came by, and then around 8 o'clock it died down, and so we shut the lights off around 8:30. 8:45, the doorbell rings. The lights are off. Everything's unplugged. The doors are locked, right?
It's a bunch of big dudes.
No, it's a couple little kids. There you go, gourmet candy corn. It's a couple little kids, and I said, "Well, how do you guys even know like we have candy?" And they looked at me straight in the eye. They go, "We come here every year, dude." So it was repeat trick-or-treaters, and they just knew we had candy. And they said, "We're last customers, right?" I'm like, "Yep." And he goes, "Okay, dump the bowl, baby, dump the bowl."
Give us what you got.
Yep. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was telling Alex we were just putting a big bowl out there, a huge stainless steel bowl, just filling it.
Yep.
And it would last like 10 minutes and somebody would steal it every time.
We did that 1 year. 1 year. Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
It didn't work
Can't
either.
trust kids. Can't trust them.
Gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible stuff. Okay. So I called you the bravest man in the world because I actually thought that at times. I'm afraid to take the garbage out at night after a show, right?
Yeah.
Because if you've seen the crap that I've seen in my life, you're just like, no. Heads on a swivel all the time. I'd call him up. I'd get some stupid idea at 2 a.m, wake him up. He'd be sleeping or he'd be awake, afraid in his tent, and he would do it. He'd like, okay, I'll do it. He'd get up, and you can remember it. For him, it was pitch dark.
Pitch black, yeah.
And I could see, I would tell him, I don't see any animals. You're good. There's no bears in your camp.
Yeah, that is one of the reasons why I was able to get out of the tent, is because we did have all the cameras set up and we kind of could see around.
Yeah.
With the infrared and with the natural infrared sometimes. But man, if you asked me to get up with no headlight or no flashlight or not knowing what was out there, no, that's just too scary.
Yeah. And so some of the things you did at camp to save having to go out was one, a cheap plastic pee bottle.
Yeah.
And by the way, Adam introduced me to this pee bottle.
Yeah.
It's quite, I used it at Snell.
It's quite handy. You don't have to leave
it really is. But I have to admit this story. I used it one night at Snell and I fell asleep with the bottle open in my sleeping bag and didn't spill a frickin' drop.
Oh, you were lucky.
I was still holding it. And I went, ooh, that could have been bad. Because you know how long sleeping bags take to dry.
Exactly. Your sleeping bag got wet. And it took
it did get wet from the cooler.
Yeah.
Joe was nice enough to put a cooler. I told him I had a hole in it on top of my sleeping bag. So like 3/4 of the trip, I was in a drenched sleeping bag anyhow.
Yeah.
That wasn't fun.
You manned up and you slept in a wet sleeping bag. That was awesome.
People were going, "Oh, switch," and I'm thinking, no, this is my wet sleeping bag. I gotta sleep in it.
Yeah. Well, Doug and I went, it was 2 years ago now. And we both learned that trip that small sleeping bags suck. So this time we bought the big double size.
Buy the double, yes. If you're gonna go camping, I don't care what size you are. Get the double wide sleeping bags. Oh my God, what a difference.
Yeah.
It's just
what a huge difference.
You can flip over easy. Your bag doesn't twist around with you.
Yeah.
You can get out easier, get in easier. You can get warmer because you can pile the extra material you're not using on top of your feet.
And if you've got the double sleeping bag, you can unzip it. If you had to, you could unzip it and double them up and actually have double the warmth and sleep in a single sleeping bag with two inside of it. So they're really cool. They're really handy. Yep. I highly recommend them.
Now you did DJ's interview.
Yesterday. On Monday.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Monday night. Oh, great. We just had a super chat jump in there and say great interview. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, they were a good group of guys. I'm still, there it is right there. Great group of people. Just met them. I'm going to try to stay in touch with them behind the scenes. And, it's going to be good.
Good. Okay. So now, go ahead and explain, the actual equipment you had up there. One, to stay comfortable, And 2, the problems you had to overcome camping alone for 30 days. And really, I want you to be honest about the fear. I want you to be honest. I'm serious. Don't.
Okay.
Because I'm not stupid.
Right.
I know
No,
damn well you were afraid at many times.
Well, the fear is always going to be there. The fear is real, but like I tried to tell you before, I'm a little broken. I'm a little different than other people. I don't have. I've got aphantasia, which means I have no visual recall. So I'm not prone to PTSD like some people are. So if I see something horrific, it's there and it's gone. So for me, it's a little bit easier to put the fear out of my mind. And one of the tricks that I did was I kind of just went to bed when the sun went down, because I'm not going to just sit out by the campfire alone, listening to everything in the woods, start freaking myself out, because everyone's going to get freaked out if they hear all these things in the woods. Yeah. I just, while I was waiting backstage, I was popping up some of the footage that I haven't even gone through. And I noticed that there's like shadows on the teepee passing by, and the lights, the IR lights are flickering where they shouldn't be flickering. And I'm like, if I had seen that, I would have been really freaked out, Wow. And having the things that did happen to me, they were freaked out. They were freaky enough, So
okay. All right. But
I managed it. I pushed it down.
You had some things happen that were very, very scary. The breathing right by your head one night.
Yeah, that was probably the scariest.
Didn't that elevate the fear, though, for the rest of the trip? Go ahead.
It made it real, is what it really did, because before I haven't had encounters like you have. That's one of the other reasons why I'm not as nervous as about things, because I'm like, I haven't been there, haven't done that. You have, and now that I actually have been to Snell Grove and actually have, been out camping for the 30 days, now, next time I go out there, it's going to be a little different, because now the reality of this stuff sets in. Like, there really is stuff out there in the woods. It really is kind of scarier than most, and I just didn't go in with that attitude. I went in with like, okay, it's just camping. It's just, just camping alone. That's no big deal. And then it changed. Yeah. It got a little more terrifying towards the end.
Do you think having the experiences up at Snell, which obviously cemented the reality of these creatures probably much greater than it was before you even did your camping solo trip, would you be more scared now to do that solo trip than you were before you had this kind of great experience?
Yeah, I mean, I do own a gun, but I didn't want to bring it with me because I haven't gone through all the proper channels, and I haven't purchased a gun yet, so I don't have a license. I don't know much about guns. My dad just gave me a gun. So the point is, my wife said, don't bring it. Just don't get in trouble with the law. I'm like, okay, I won't bring it. But next time I go, I think I'm gonna get all my permits together and everything, and I think I probably will have a weapon. And I know a lot of people were like, you're nuts to be up there without a weapon. I didn't need it. I didn't have to use it, but I think that's just a sense of security that we like to have.
Yeah.
A
Grasshopper says it isn't Disneyland out there, and it's not.
Yeah. And exactly. And I know we wanted to, bring a weapon up to Snell, but the point is you're crossing the border, and it's just, you can't bring a weapon across the border.
I'd love to bring one, but don't.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. So we really go into these, crazy situations, without a lot of protection.
Yeah.
So, and as researchers, I think we're there to document what happens, whether it be good or bad, or, it's just, at least we'll try to get it on camera. So.
Yeah, I was very, very scared up at Snell, only because you just don't have any control. You have no control. You have no idea what's going to happen next. You've got something big outside your window. It's running around. There's probably more than one, which I'm pretty convinced we had far more than one, maybe even 2, 3, 4.
Well, I had the interaction between the mother-child out there, and then we had the thunder knock from the big daddy, so it probably was a whole family unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a different kind of fear. It's not like it's not like imminent fear. It's more of a at any moment things could get ugly.
Right.
Fear. Pre-fear.
Just thinking about it now, right? The sailors of the olden days believed in sea monsters, and every time they left port, they knew they could be attacked by a sea monster. And I think we're kind of that same way. We go out into the woods knowing that there's something out there. We might be attacked. We're hoping that everything goes well and our journey is successful. But I think that historically we're not. This is nothing new. Humankind has faced this kind of fear for a long time.
So, what was the first scary thing that happened on your solo trip?
The first scary thing was the rock throw. So day one, right away, I was by the campfire, and I did bring a buddy up with me to help me set up the teepee. And we were sitting by the fire. He took off to the bathroom, came back, and as he was gone, I had a rock thrown at me from the woods, and I'm like, okay. He came back, and I just looked at him, and I go, "They're here," just like Poltergeist. They're here, and it was. He sat down calmly, and we just kind of waited and see if there was anything else was gonna happen. And fortunately and unfortunately, it didn't. We were too nervous about things happening on our first night, and we only had a couple cameras set up at that point. So,
did you come to any kind of conclusion as to why the rock was thrown? Intimidation? Did it try to hit you?
It was close. It was about 4 feet away, but no, it didn't feel threatening. And I was actually excited and terrified at the same time. I'm like, okay, they're here. I'm already day one. We're getting interaction, which is fantastic. That means I'm in the right spot. And so I was looking forward to the next 30 days, but it still wasn't quite real yet.
And so to give people more information, Adam was equipped with a whole bunch of Wise cameras, which they're doing a ton of marketing right now, for home surveillance. And they've got a better product. They've made them black now, which is a better color for a surveillance camera. They've done some things. They have tracking cams, but generally this was not just because, remember, you're in the woods. You did a lot of very unique things. What was it that you did that was so unique with these cameras?
My goal was to actually stream this to other researchers, including yourself. And of course, my family, some of my wife and my sister were watching me for safety, and whenever I left the camp, my sister watched the camp for me to make sure no one was messing around with it. So it was kind of fun. It was nice to have all that technology there, but getting it to work in the woods, that was a little tricky. And I had to bring up generators. I had the Jackery battery system. I'll plug Jackery, solar panels, and the Wise cameras. We've been working with the Wise cameras for a while. I'm still Wise. If you're watching, I need to work with you to make a camera that works really good for what we're doing. There are some things we need to add and change, but yeah. But
how
for the
close are they, Adam? Are they like 80% to what you'd love to see? Or
well, first of all, we all want to see a better microphone, because the microphones are not good at all for research. Anyways, for talking to somebody at your front door, sure, they're great, but for doing research in the woods, they're almost useless.
And one feature is too that I do love about them. You can talk into the camera and broadcast sounds, but that's pretty crappy too.
But that you guys scared the bejesus out of me multiple times. I walked past the cameras and you said something. I was not expecting it. You guys are watching me and just said like, "Hey, Adam," and I'm like, So I would love as an admin to be able to control what features other people have access to. Can they turn the cameras on and off? Can they turn the IR lights on and off? Can they turn the microphones or the speakers on and off? because you've done call blasting on my cameras before, where you've actually put sounds through my cameras, and then of course there might be a conversation that I'm having with somebody that I don't want anyone to listen to, even though I want to be monitored for safety. So it'd be nice to be able to disable the microphones too. So all of these things could be done really easily, but most normal people don't need them. But for researchers, we do need them. And WISE could give us an admin access, and we'd want to be able to share these cameras streaming as well, like via YouTube. And there are hacks to do that, and I've implemented those hacks, but they're not built in. They should be built in. Like if I want to, stream this particular camera or these 4 cameras to a YouTube site live, I should be able to do that. And they have the technology there.
What's the protocol that you had to change?
It's called RSTP, Real-Time Streaming Protocol. And there's a multiple hacks that you can do. It's based on a Linux operating system, I believe. So there's a lot of really smart guys out there hacking these cameras and turning them into things that they're not, right off the shelf. And so you can flash the firmware is what they call it, and you can put in this new firmware that lets you real-time stream it. If you don't do it correctly, you lose all the AI capability and the web recording, which is fantastic. So you don't want to lose that, but you do want to be able to stream it. So, there's some things we want to do that WISE should let us do.
Yeah.
But it's, for the most part, it's 80 to 90% of what we need. I have modified the cameras and added a powerful USB speaker system to it, and it's fantastic for call blasting. I've also soldered in some new microphones, and I'm testing those now, and they should improve the audio quality significantly. So there's a lot of things we can do that are just kind of outside the box, but you got to be technical. You got to have a soldering iron. You got to get in there and modify them. So it's not easy. They can easily put a port on the back that says do this, or a switch that says do this, or even just make a pro model, make a Bigfoot model. I mean, you and I, like you said, those round cameras, what are they called?
Camtrix.
I did take a quick look at those, and because of the open SD card port, I don't think they're waterproof, and I didn't see anything on the site that said outside use.
Okay.
So I would have to say they're probably not ready for prime time for us, but you hit the nail on the head. They're round. Nature is round. That's a better shape for us.
Yeah.
And we would love to have our cameras either camoed or tree bark matched or something like that, rather than white and black. It's like, black is better than white, but still, like, come on, WISE, give us some skins,
Yeah, and me and Alex actually developed some game camera skins that you can put on WISE or anything. Yeah, and we actually sell them on eBay, and we have all sorts of different tree barks. If you have a birch tree you want to hide a camera, you can cover it with birch bark.
And Alex did send me some of those, and I did use them on all my cameras up there, which was fantastic. Yeah, awesome. Very, very good. I found I have the best way to wrap them if anyone wants to know. I've done 15 cameras with wraps now. I kind of got it down to a science. So.
Yeah, actually, and you want the wraps to come out wrinkled because they look more textured. That's the beauty of them. You don't want them to go on real smooth. When you get a wrinkle around a corner, perfect. That just looks more real, blends in better.
Yeah, exactly. So there are some things, but for the most part, they worked great. Doug and I discovered some new little tricks that we hadn't played before, where you're able to group cameras get together and turn them on and off as a group. So Operation Ambush, I think we called it.
Yep.
We were able to have most of the cameras on without the IR lights, and then we had a secondary group of cameras that had the IR lights on and ready to go.
But
when we turned the cameras on, the IR lights came on. Now, if I was talking to a WISE programmer right now, I'd say, hey, why do I have to turn the camera on and off? Why can't I group the IR lights on and off and just turn the lights on and off? See what I'm saying? There's so many improvements they could make with just a couple little tweaks. So,
Yeah, it's one of the things we did up at Snell was to experiment and get more confirmation on their fear of IR lights, certainly ones that are on constantly. Because we had creatures, we can't say for sure they were Bigfoot, standing right on top of our camera systems, right under the porch. They were standing right on top of the porch. They definitely don't like light on. And if you have just natural moonlight, starlight, these wise cameras do go really low light. You don't need much illumination, from the sky to have them be very, very effective. And that's impressive about them. Some of the pictures we were getting were just gorgeous.
And if we talk to their programmers, we could probably enhance that feature even more for us.
Yeah.
Because they could just dial it. Oh, you want to go darker? You want to go dimmer? Great. Here's what you got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because one of the problems with IR light, let's say a Bigfoot comes close to a camera 2 feet away, looks into it, it's just going to be blown out white. You're still not going to get the details. But the way we had them set up, you would have gotten great detail.
Fantastic detail.
Yeah, it would have been amazing. Especially with a full moon, or a part of a moon. At Snell, thick cloud cover every night, no stars, no moon, and they knew it. And we had no IR lights.
Yeah. I wanted to let you know, Wise did come out with a new camera, I think last week, where they actually have like the battery packs we purchased and we were using. They have a replaceable battery for it now.
Oh,
so
nice.
So they're getting. Maybe they're listening to us. I don't know.
We actually have talked to their techs.
Yeah, we have.
There's no reason they're not listening to us.
Yeah, but we do. Hey, we need a Bigfoot edition. I'm more than happy to tell you guys everything you need to improve the mic, the cameras and. But yeah,
there'd be plenty of market for a Bigfoot edition. It could cost more.
Oh yeah,
people aren't cheap in this in the Bigfoot community. They would pony up a little bit extra money.
Yeah,
for cameras that are better suited for this type of forest surveillance.
Exactly.
But hunters would use them.
Oh yeah,
it's a big market. That's how this market got developed, was through hunters.
Yeah. Oh, and the trail cams were great. I brought two trail cams up, but unlike the Wise cams that we were running with either plugged into the Jackery system or with the cell phone batteries, the trail cams just used 8 AA batteries, and they went dead in 2 days. And that gets expensive, swapping 8 batteries out every 2 days.
And the batteries built into the Wise cams actually last a month.
But no, it's a month if you're just doing slight motion activation.
Right.
If you're trying to record continuously all night, they last about 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But on using the AI passive AI sensor, I've gotten actually 2.5 months out of one I have in a garage.
Exactly. And it all depends on how much activity is happening there. And if a tree is blowing and it's moving, that's a lot of activity.
Yep.
So just gentle breeze can make a lot of activity in the cameras.
But the nice thing, you can plug in the micro USB to a USB and then plug in a power port.
Yeah, power bank.
Power bank, yeah.
Power bank.
Which are very inexpensive.
Yeah, we were like buying 2 packs for $20.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But and for technical people, you want to start doing this. The Jackeries charge at about 30 to 60 watts in the solar. I've never seen the full 100 watts yet, but they do charge it pretty quickly at the 60 watts. Also, if you're running your cameras, my cameras were pulling about 35 watts. And so when I was charging, I was actually able to run the camera system and charge the battery off the solar at the same time. The batteries charged slower, but it did work. A power bank takes 10 watts to charge, and a Wise camera takes about 5 watts to run all night.
Because you had to run a Wi-Fi system. out of
Yeah,
the
the
forest.
Wi-Fi system took about 10 to 15 watts.
Yep. So if you want to do this, you need a few cameras, you need a Wi-Fi system.
Yeah.
Then you're going to need good, like 5G cell phone signal.
5G or Starlink. Starlink does work when you can find the satellites.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about Starlink for a minute. You had bad luck.
At the cabin, I had good luck everywhere else, but when I brought it up to my brother's cabin, I just could not get the thing to work. And my brother's cabin is deep in the woods, but they do have a campfire with about 100-foot clearance, but the trees are like 60 feet tall. They're really big pine trees, right? So getting that northern exposure, getting that clearance was impossible. And so I brought it down to the lake, and I literally found a pine tree, shaved off all the branches, got the satellite up in the air 25 feet at the tip of a pine tree, strapped it to a pole at the end of the dock, and I did finally get signal for about 6 seconds.
Alex, do you have photos of any of that stuff?
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff.
Why don't you just start throwing some photos up, and
Okay.
and we're going to bring a surprise guest is in the back room, Adam,
Nice.
who might know you, might not know you.
Okay.
So where did you want to start, Adam?
Oh, I don't. I mean, if you want to see how much.
Just do it really quick. Just go through some stuff really quick. Give people an idea.
One is a movie. You can see all the gear that I brought up. That's kind of crazy.
This is the ATV trailer. Rented an ATV from my good buddy, and there's all the tubs of the camping gear, and the cameras and the audio equipment, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
we were unable to get the teepee in the trailer, obviously here, so we're gonna come back for the teepee.
So why don't you talk us through this, Adam?
Only one of those tubs has food in it. The rest of them is all gear. I brought up all those MREs, and everything I had was either.
And he lived on MREs the entire time.
I did bring up Sasquatch bait, which included cashews and walnuts and some berries and bacon and a bunch of other fun things. And I did actually end up eating a lot of the Bigfoot bait myself. But yeah, for the most part, it was MREs for 30 days.
By the way, let's go ahead and let's bring our surprise guest on too. Yeah. You can just keep going at him.
Yeah, just if you want to get that image. Get another
surprise.
Image. Oh, hey, Chris.
Hey. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good.
I had to keep it a secret. We talked today, and I couldn't tell Adam that I was going to be here tonight. So
that's awesome. Yes, we did chat a little bit today. That was awesome.
Yep. So
Chris is the originator of the Thunder Knock,
who we have now called the OG.
Yeah, I got it there. See, look at.
Oh yeah.
There it is. See, the OG. That's the nickname I gave him.
Nice.
He deserves the title. Okay, so what else do we have for photos we can go through real quick? Next.
So there's the TP. That's the TP trailer we loaded up. That was the testing of the 5G. Before we set up camp, we had to make sure that we had signal. And that is the little home internet box that we're using to do all the 5G stuff. Next time I will use Starlink because I do have Starlink now, but let's see what the speeds are. Connecting. Do we have speeds? Speed test. I'm excited. Speed tests excite me. There you go.
Pretty low,
11.
but it's good enough.
Yeah, that's what we had in the woods. 11.
For instance, at my home, I have 1,000.
Yeah, 11 and 5. There you go. So,
okay.
When you're deep in the woods, you'll take it. Oh, the teepee time lapse is really fun for anyone who hasn't seen that. But.
And the reason he built the teepee was for having a place to weld or solder things, keep computers, just kind of an office, basically.
Yeah, and all the equipment was in their teepee there, so you can see how big when Jack stands in it there. You can see how big it is inside, but it went up pretty quick, and it's an amazing structure. So I'm thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next picture.
So
would you ever do that, Chris? Do a 30-day camping trip?
Yeah, we were actually, I was asking Adam that the other day about the TP situation, how many people it could sleep, and I had a whole bunch of questions for him. And for sure, I would do it.
From this image right there, stay on that one for 1 more second. You can see that's a 4 to 6, probably a 6-man tent. It says it's an 8-man tent, so you can see how big the teepee is compared to that 8-man tent. I did have 2 queen-size air mattresses in that tent, so I could have easily slept 4. I don't know if you can sleep 8 without. On the ground, you could sleep 8, but not in air mattresses and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I would do it alone for 30 days. I still have my interaction in the back of my mind, and I don't think it's possible for me to do it.
And the area that he picked had the 5G, surrounded by water, surrounded by peat bogs and forest. It's a very, very much a wilderness area.
Yeah, this is the beaver dam that was right behind the teepee there. I had a bog and some water, and that's how beautiful it was out there. So I learned to fly the drone a little better on that trip, which is nice. I'm going to continue to do that. So
very cool.
Yeah. Let it go for a little bit here. You'll see when I come up, you'll see how vast this bog is and how there's just nothing around. No roads, no telephone poles. It's pretty deep in the woods.
That's such a cool shot.
How far in was that footprint that you found?
It was in that bog right before the beaver dam. And there actually is a video of that if you want to jump to it, Alex.
Yeah, go ahead.
So jump. It's at the bottom though. It's towards the bottom.
I would like to say though, if anybody's going to catch him on these wires, Adam's going to be the one because he's pretty much dialed in with them.
Which one are you talking about, Adam?
23, right there.
23.
Yep. So you can see we walked out into the bog and we found one big muddy footprint right in the bog, and I was able to cast that one. So unfortunately, this is after the cast was removed, so it's a little bit. There's before in the cast, but you can see on the left-hand side of the screen is where the toes kind of slid down the bog into that hole. But from this video, you can see how deep that impression is. It was a really heavy footprint. So, and that's what we retrieved from the footprint, from the cast.
And there were other footprints, weren't there, leading up to this?
Yeah, there was like 3 of them, but they weren't really good. So you can see maybe one toe in there, but yeah, it's not a great print. It's not great evidence, but it was fun. As my first trip out there, it was fun to come back home with something, and that's
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Full size comparison.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And then
what did you want to show us?
If the eye shine, go show that. That's really freaky stuff.
It is.
So here's the untainted video. On the right-hand side, you're seeing a little glare off of the TV, but it just passed, so it just went dim. It's really brief. The eye opens up and then closes. So it's right there. Yep, right there.
Oh, say, Chris, can you turn your volume down just a bit? We're getting a little echo.
I'm on my soundboard. I don't even have volume
Is
really.
it me?
That's not me.
Okay, I'll move my
Maybe
microphone.
you.
a little bit.
Let's turn it down a bit.
Okay.
There's a feedback going on somewhere.
I'll mute myself.
Yeah.
There. That was it. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the eye glow here. There it is, right in the middle.
And all right, I turned my audio down. Hopefully that won't happen. If you do the guides, then yeah, play that one. This one shows you that is a trash bag I have hanging on a tree that's 5 feet in the air. So you can see that the eye shine is roughly 10 feet off the ground. So
oh wow, 10 feet. That's huge. I like the size comparison.
Yeah.
I'll play that again.
So that's the trash bag. There's the 5 foot mark, and there's if you go up another, it's probably 9 feet. But yeah, I mean, a 9 foot eyeball opening up in the middle of the woods. Yep. So I wish I had 2 eyes, but it must have peeked out from behind the tree or something. So, but that is really, really bright. And I had no cameras in that area. I had nothing to emit any sort of light. And then there's another the secondary eye shine that I caught from these trees. So in the back of these trees, right? I don't know if it's this one or not. I think it's one back. Do a second eye shine. There you go. 10 foot height right there. So now if you look in this video, right above these little pine trees that are, 4 to 6 feet tall, straight in the middle of the screen here, you'll see another eye open up real briefly right in the middle there. It's kind of dim, but I caught it. Do you see it like right between those 2 big trees? I didn't zoom in on that one. So is that me still?
Yeah, it went away, Adam.
When
you muted yourself.
Yeah.
What else can we show here, guys? Oh, this is cool because this gives you an example of what kind of beautiful pictures you can get with just a moon. Total darkness. No IR lights. It's a totally different kind of picture. It's much more detailed. Don't you agree, Adam?
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah, exactly.
It looks like the Synox Aurora, the high-tech night vision that they got out. That's what their footage looks just like that, too. The colored night vision. But that's a beautiful picture. Look at that.
Yeah, it's cinematic.
And those other lights in the background are cameras that have the IR lights on.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Do you guys want me to switch to the internal microphone as this one's acting up?
Sure.
Okay. Is that better? Does that sound
perfect? Yeah, it does sound better.
All right. So I am back in the show.
Great.
Yeah, the IR say, and Doug and I argued about this, and you were right, Doug. I'll give you credit where credit is due. You can turn the camera into IR mode and turn off the IR lights, and that's what creates this new type of image that looks amazing. But it only works if there's moonlight or the IR light from the sun is bouncing off the moon,
Yeah.
So.
But if we could just get the perfect storm where it's not too light, not too dark, because when we did Operation Porch Light at Snell, we had no activity.
Yeah.
But, you got to try it. You don't know. You do not know what'll work. Anybody that thinks they know everything that's going to work for sure is really shortchanging themselves. because you were dealing with individual animals. You know, what bugs one may not bug the other one.
And what's cool about these cameras is you can have teams monitoring these. As long as they got the signal, I could watch while Adam sleeps, and Doug watching when Adam was sleeping, and people can take shifts and watching the areas in the different cameras from their own, from their living room if they had to.
So our question is, what are we going to do different next year at Snell Grove to assure that we have success?
That's a good question. I think number one is get the audio recorders out right away. I don't know why we didn't, get that happening. And then secondly, hopefully use the cameras with better audio on them. And I think maybe hopefully just have some better weather, because the weather was really kind of fighting us with the rain and stuff and the dark clouds cover.
Right. We could never venture out at night because it just kept on raining every night. We couldn't go nowhere.
And there's the map. You can see where the foot was cast right there. Right. The bog is right behind the teepee, and that beaver den is just to the left of the screen there. So
is this where you left bacon?
That's where I put bacon, right? It was pretty close to my camp, but it wasn't like right next door. But yeah, I did the bacon. There's a bacon video if you want to see it.
Yeah. I think I actually saw it. It's labeled, right?
Yeah, it's labeled. So
yeah, and then we got a couple of
Nothing touched the bacon.
So here's me. Yeah, I put a line in the air, 8.5 feet, 9 feet up. I can't remember exactly, but you can see that's a 6-foot ladder. So I'm climbing the ladder. I'm hanging raw venison up. That's raw ground venison right there on the tree that I left down below. And for sure, I only wanted the Bigfoot to get the stuff in the air, but the stuff on the ground I left for any animal to come get, and nothing got it. So
doesn't make any sense. Why a raven, didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
Birds, mice, nothing.
Yeah, nothing. No raccoons, no scavengers. The only thing that ate it was flies.
Yeah.
So.
And we had the same situation at Snell. Nothing came and ate the stuff on the porch. Nothing. Any of the food.
Yet even though we had activity, tons of activity on the porch and around the cabin, nothing was touched. People go, well, you had a bear around there. No, we had grease with sprinkled flour on it. Nothing touched it.
Right.
Yeah. I actually dumped all the bacon grease from 3 pounds of bacon right on that tree. So I was expecting some animals to come get it.
At least a bear. Nothing.
Yeah, at least a bear. Mm-hmm. And so, here's me, I'm looking around because I'm cooking. You can see me steaming bacon right there in the middle of the woods. And I'm just like, something's going to come and eat it. And there's all the bacon hung up. And and I even left a bottle of milk out just for fun.
That's a great idea, though. Clothesline and the clothespins. It's a great idea.
Yeah. So, there's you gotta have some milk to wash it down, and then of course I gotta come ringing the dinner bell. Come and get it, guys. Come and get it. Couple big wood knocks. So, oh hey, Doug, I broke that bat while I was up there. Right.
Yeah.
I found a couple more wooden bats on Craigslist, and the guy who was selling them said there's a big difference between a professional bat and the cheap bat I was using. It was kind of a souvenir bat, right? So I did buy the professional bats now, and he also told me about hardnesses of the different woods and the wood grains that they use. So I actually have 2 better wood knockers now. So all bats are not created equal, by the way.
No, and generally that's all I've ever done my whole life is just a couple of wood knocks. That's it, nothing more.
Yeah.
Because obviously they would knock or they make this sound. They're doing it for probably territorial reasons, communication, and you're probably going to be playing up their territorial curiosity. And it does seem to make them want to come into camp.
This is a shot of another pine tree that I shaved down into a pole, and I buried it 2-3 feet in the ground, and I measured, and I had the bowl up 9 feet in the air, and I used wood because I wanted it to look a little more natural, and I filled it with walnuts, and I put a little cover on top that could easily be pulled off just to keep the squirrels and the birds out of it, and it never touched it. So
wow.
It was really disappointing. I put a lot of work into my gifting, and you can see how high that is.
But gifting's tough. It takes time. You can't just show up and throw some stuff out and expect the gifting to start. It takes a good month or so to get the routine down and get them interested and get them used to you. And I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know.
No, I think you're right, Chris. And maybe they were getting used to me at the end. I don't know, but a month wasn't even long enough. Maybe next day I'm going to do 60 days. I don't even know.
So what do you think about our strategy up at Snell where we were just trying to get the feet? That way we could for sure keep the cameras out of their eyesight. And if we could have gotten clear, close-up Bigfoot feet, that would have been
that would have been amazing, yeah.
Yeah. I think we had a good shot at it if the rain held up. I think if we could have got the rain to stop at night, I think we would have had a good shot at it.
I agree. And we just needed a little bit more light, and we needed a little bit better weather. We just had some bad luck, but even with our bad luck, we still had some crazy experiences up there.
Yeah, we did.
We just didn't capture, document it as well as we wanted to.
Is our next guest in, Alex? Surprise guest?
He is not.
Oh, okay.
But I have reached out, so
okay. No
Do
problem.
we have a 6-man for next year?
Don't know.
In fact, Dad, I'm going to be right back.
Brendan Brown has expressed interest in going.
Cool.
From This Week in Bigfoot.
Awesome.
Yeah. I know Bud's excited to go. This camera thing, we all got excited. Bud went out and bought cameras. I got cameras. We're all in on this camera idea. I got a couple ideas we're going to try this winter and see if we can hide them a little bit better without, the plastic smell and stuff like that. We got a couple ideas.
Yeah. Really good ideas too.
Yeah, I do though. My main thing is I think just any kind of light emitting from them is gonna freak them out.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe the only other thing I was thinking of is doing a misdirect where we have the light source coming from a different place where they try to avoid that light, but it's still they walk into the cameras
using mirrors.
Yeah, Doug, you did. You kind of hit the nail on the head when you said, they don't seem to be afraid of the cameras because they were standing right on top of them.
Right.
But, they do seem to be afraid of the IR lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
any kind of light source seems to really spook them.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is that's where I stayed for 30 days. It's a fun memory now. So
I would definitely accompany you if I didn't have to work full time for 30 days.
Yeah, and I really don't think there would be any problem with 2 people in camp. I don't think you need to do it alone. Yeah. I'm sure many people would be willing to, join you. I'd be willing to join. I mean, I just wouldn't camp solo. Wouldn't do it.
I would love to do it at Snell Grove, though. 30 days at Snell Grove. Whew.
Alone?
Not alone.
No, not alone.
Oh.
Not alone.
It's just
I would love to be up there 30 days.
Foolish by yourself up there alone, especially. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a mountain man. I didn't grow up in the woods. I'm not, if I had to get out of there, I'd get lost and I would die and something would eat me and nobody'd ever find me again. So,
Chris,
would you go to Snell Grove, Alex?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Risk getting eaten by Bigfoots?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you'd have to chain me and drag me there. I'm not as brave as Adam.
No,
I want to live to my 80s.
I think it's not that. It's just the point when the dark comes, it's a whole different story. When the night comes, and then Doug starts telling his campfire stories about things running across the roof of the cabin up there, and the whole cabin being lifted up. Then you start sinking into your chair a little bit lower, and a little bit lower, and a little bit lower.
My favorite memory of Snell Grove is the butter knives. The first night, there's one butter knife. The second night, there's 2 butter knives. The third night, there's like 6 butter knives in the doors.
Yeah.
The fourth night, all the doors have butter knives.
Well, see, that's another good way we could tell people we didn't go outside at night. I mean, we weren't making those noises outside. We weren't running around the cabin.
No. We kind of trapped ourselves in the cabin with all those butter knives.
Right,
yeah, and they're wedged in. They're not easy to get out.
No.
Right.
Yeah. And once again, everybody, we put the butter knives in so if something decides to break the door down, it's going to make more noise.
Yeah, that's the only thing it can do. It needs
It's a noise alarm.
Oh, I thought it was to keep them out.
No.
No, are you
It probably
kidding?
wouldn't.
Joking.
It did add a little sense of security because the doors don't lock. They don't. Anything could just open the door.
Oh, I'll be right back, guys.
It's all glass too. All glass
Yeah.
cabin. I mean, if you want to get in, they're coming in, whether you put a butter knife in that door or not. But it is a sense of security for sure.
So what went through your mind, Chris, when something grabbed a stick or used their hand to just slap all of those roof joists? Because, man, you got to be tall to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
And
hear it.
you and Adam both heard that. And that's the one thing I slept through that one night.
Yeah, I felt the vibration on my back. My back was against the back of the cabin where it happened, but I was on the opposite side, and Adam was on the side where it happened. So I didn't hear it as clear as he did, but I felt it when it went. I think now that I think more of it, it could have been a hand. He could have used his hand and just went right across the rafters. Who knows?
Do you think it was a stick, Adam, or a hand?
I would think it could have been his fingers too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was just the hitting each beam in a succession like that. Yeah. But man, that was so loud, and I can't even tell you how scary that was. That was like, and then rolling over to talk to you, Doug, and you're like sleeping through it. I'm like, what? So
I don't know how I slept through that one. That was the first.
But see, that's the difference between the night and day. So that happened at night. So that's very scary. It's dark. You don't see it. The last day we're there, we're watching something throw pine cones at us, drinking our coffee on the back porch. I mean, that's the difference. Now, if that was at night, you'd have that edge in the back. You can't see where it's coming from. You don't know what it's coming from. Night and day is two different categories when it comes to these guys. Cause I know for a fact, these guys can see superbly at night. From 60 yards away, they saw us in the pitch dark and hid behind a tree. We were watching one on thermal go back and forth, and the guy turned around, reached in his backpack, and like that, it jumped behind the tree and started peeking at us. And 2:00 in the morning on a mountain ledge and pitch dark. That's how good your eyesight is.
City slickers do not realize how absolutely dark it is in the woods. It is so dark. It is so black. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
You have to, in the firelight that I had, I could see across the fire and maybe 10 feet away maximum. It wasn't, you couldn't see to the edge of the campsite even. So.
Well, how about when it pushed in on the tent? How did you feel when that happened? Because I had the same experience. How did you feel about that?
Well, luckily he didn't push in the tent, just stood there and breathed on me. But that if it had pushed the tent or moved the tent, I probably would have really freaked out. But yeah, it's still really scary. It's etched in my mind.
When it breathed on you, was it kind of a congestion breathing sound that I often hear? Was it very clear breathing?
I want to say it had a little bit of rasp to it, but it was so close to me, and it was trying to copy human breathing. It was weird. It was like it was trying to mimic me, not breathing, not like it was normally breathing itself. It was like,
oh, there we go. Now the show.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Yo.
All right. Joe, we got the whole Snell Grove clan almost. That's awesome.
Jeez.
What's going on, Joe? How are you?
We did it.
Good to see you
We're
guys.
all here.
I was technically challenged. I don't know why, but I got on now.
Awesome.
Good to see you guys.
See ya. Are we all excited about next year? Or we got the trip booked?
100%. I heard. Yeah.
The trip is booked, so we're going back.
So let's do it.
That is exciting.
Yeah, but we're going to give Joe a no-dose pill every night.
You know, I just
before
fell
bed.
short. I fell short of all the exciting stuff. I stayed up and then went down.
Yeah.
Then all the exciting stuff happened.
I got to Joe, I got to praise you for doing all the camp cooking. He was our cookie for the week. Amazing food. And what was hilarious, though, is that I wasn't there for the shopping. And on the day we were leaving, we're throwing out like bags of potatoes and pork chops and steaks. And I'm like, whoa, why didn't we eat all this food? It's like we brought all this food up. It's like, it was really funny. So
Part of it was we had bad weather.
Yeah.
We couldn't really get outside to even cook.
Yeah.
We didn't have that
100%.
campfire going,
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, Joe was the best camp cook I am. I second that.
I appreciate hearing that, guys. Well, and you know what? I never really got a chance to tell either of you guys or any of you guys, but kudos to the commitment and the dedication to the research you guys were doing right in the field. I was pretty impressed by just the whole group and just in general. So I never got a chance to tell you guys that. So.
Well, thanks, Joe.
Yeah, it was like Doug says, it was about Bigfoot, and that's why we were there, and that's what it was all about. It wasn't about girls in bikinis. It wasn't any of that. It was just strictly Sasquatch, and that's what we all talked about. That's why we were there, and
That was I never heard one joke told. I never heard anything. It was Bigfoot, or nothing.
Yeah. Right. Yep. I mean,
It was morning, noon, and night.
Pretty dedicated.
Yeah.
Focused.
I bet you like the Marvel guys that go to the Comic-Con and they just talk Marvel the whole weekend, the whole week. That's us. We're Bigfoot. Just a whole, just focused on our passion.
It was pretty cool.
Except your thing really exists, Adam.
Yeah. What are you saying? Star-Lord doesn't exist?
I found fishing video that I got to send. The 360 fishing video actually came out, and that came out pretty good. That'll
nice.
So I can get that out. We thought we lost that footage, but I haven't scanned the woods yet because the 360 camera films all around you. So I'm going to scan the edges of the lake and everything while we're out there to see if anything's watching us while we're out there and cruising the lakes.
Doug, that's another great idea. Bring up a couple of those 360 cams.
Sure.
And just record. Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think you're going to get a great resolution once you get that one little spot on the land, but at least you might say, hey, there was something there,
Right. Yeah, to catch something. I mean, you're going. It's bound. You'll catch anything as long as it's in 3. All the way around you. So can just hope for the best.
I love the idea, Doug, of next year. Maybe we plan to fake them out and pack up our stuff and just put some empty suitcases and everything out on the end of the dock or something. And I'll just stand out there.
Sure, we can bring a recording of the float plane coming on.
Yeah. Or even just when they're planning one of the, if they're going to resupply us or drop off some supplies, just plan that day to pretend to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, that stuff's all needs to be tried. The weird thing was, one, how many pine cones do you think were thrown at you? Because you guys had all your gear packed up and on the dock.
Right. I don't even know. It was just they came one after the other, just kept on coming. Yeah.
And all 3 of you saw this.
Yeah, I went towards it with the GoPro. I took the GoPro, said I'm going towards it. I got to the outhouse and I got pegged, and I turned around from the outhouse and I came back.
Whoa, that's great.
I have not had a chance to see that footage. Have you all seen it?
I haven't seen the footage yet either. I haven't gotten a hold of it yet.
Who's got it, Bud?
Oh, I think Alex has it. I have it. Chris,
Alex,
you
do
should
you
have
have
a
the
copy.
footage?
Oh, yeah, it was Bud's footage. You're right.
I didn't get
Bud's
footage
GoPro.
from the last day.
Do you have that footage?
And that the flying airplane
I
footage.
only have what Adam sent.
Yeah, no, it's not. We don't have that for tonight. So.
But something was flying around while we were there the last day too, and we should check the woods out from the air too, because something was definitely there, roaming around the shore that day. That's for sure. Midday, a lot of that happened. This was 11:30. What was it, 11:30 in the morning, Adam, when this all started going down? I mean,
right before noon. Yep.
But then the thunder knock and the knocking back at the cabin, which was just as loud. I just think it got muffled from the cabin. Happened like at 11:30, 12 o'clock. It was a bright sun, and
I was just sent. Christopher Noel sent me some thunder knocks, which could be. I mean, they sound so similar to like a gun going off.
Right. Yeah. David.
Also, if it would have been recorded, would it be difficult for someone to differentiate between a gun going off and the thunder knock?
Yeah, this wasn't no gun. I didn't even compare.
No, I know. But if you were to record that,
right,
would it be hard for someone to tell the difference between a gun and the thunder knock that you heard?
Oh, yeah.
It would be. It would be hard to tell.
No, it wouldn't be hard to tell at all. You wouldn't. Be the difference. No. It's not the same.
Okay.
Not even close. Adam?
Yeah, no, it was definitely more woody than explosive, but the fact that they're both, they both create the shock wave. The bullet travels faster than the speed of sound and creates that shock wave, and you felt that shock wave. So I think, the microphone may pick it up similar. So I'm the jury's out for me, Doug. I don't know.
Right.
And that one day we did try to get into Hidden Lake. The water was too low. Joe has been back there many times with me. Even then we had a pole, use a pole to get in there with our motors lifted. But there was no way to get in there last time.
No, the water. I'll bet the water was a good 12 inches low.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time I took you back there, Joe?
Oh, 100%. Yep.
Didn't we get stuck on a rock, a big, huge rock that night?
We did. Just imagine a rowboat, a motorized boat like we had up there, going across the surface of the lake and then getting launched, perched on a rock, a big rock.
Wow.
And it was. And so then, of course, I got
big
out.
Rock.
It was huge. I mean, it was big enough where I tied off, got out, and we had to literally push us off. But from if somebody was to stand on shore, they would think that it looked like somebody was standing on water. Because it was pretty interesting.
But I remember the first thing you said to me, you go, I feel like I'm being watched back there.
That very first time, you can't get away from the feeling. And I told Doug that. I said, I actually feel like we're being watched. And I had no idea what was, we were just up there on a fishing trip.
Came up. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't even a subject at that point in time. Wow. And I couldn't shake that feeling that we were being watched. And that's a very real feeling.
Wasn't that when it all started, when you had your daughters there? That was the whole, that's when it all kicked.
It was that trip.
Yep. And coming back to Snell, the cabin from being in Hidden Lake, that's when that all started with Doug and his child. Remember that?
Yeah. Grasshopper's got a great question.
Yeah, and I want to answer that too, because Snell Grove, for instance, we had no bugs up there, none. The reason is, for some reason, this area is very arid. There's not a lot of rain. They don't get a lot of snow.
Nope.
It's been a mystery, that area, but the wood is dry. The trees are dry. Usually it's beautiful weather. This was just kind of an exception that we had with this wet weather. But generally there's just, dead trees, and they're very dry up there.
And
right.
The thing that the experience that Chris and I had, and Bud, of course, with the thunder knock, it really makes me think about a whole new thing, because are they walking around with sticks? because when the thunder knock happened, just moments later, there was a knock from across the lake to answer it. And they I couldn't have even turned around to find a stick that fast, much less come back with another knock to answer thunder knock. So are they creating these sounds with vocally? Is this something they can do naturally? They don't have to have a stick. I don't know. Chris, explain what you felt. I mean, you even said maybe it was a portal opening. I don't even know. It was just the sound of it was so intense.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't know if I've never experienced a portal or anything, but it was like a sonic boom, but it wasn't as loud. It's hard to explain. It was more like the tree exploded. It wasn't like a thud. It wasn't like a thunk. It was like a boom, like it shattered, like a tree. It's hard to explain, but afterwards it felt like the impulses after it was recoil. It was like the waves on. If you were sitting in the lake, and it's the best way I could describe it. I've said it 100 times now. You're sitting in the lake, and a boat drives by you, and then all of a sudden you get the waves that hit you in the chest, over and over. So that's how it would have felt. 6 of them, probably 6, 7, 8. I don't know. We didn't count, but it just kept on hitting me and Bud in the chest, and me and Bud are looking at each other and we're like, "Are you feeling this right now?" And at the same time, and it was like a recoil and just kept on hitting us. And then it stopped, and then she landed and she did her little thing. And then from behind the cabin again, crack. I mean, it was like a tree splintered.
That's crazy.
Now that you say that, Chris, I did have one of those trees explode, break when I was camping with the teepee. I was midday. It was right around 11, 12 a.m. And it scared the bejesus out of me because it sounded like somebody just took a tree 12 inches in diameter, just snapped it in half. And it felt like it was 15, 20 feet away from my camp. It felt really, really close. So
that's a good way to describe it. So it was probably like I don't know, 3-foot diameter tree that was just snapped in half. That would be the good way to explain it. Just like crack.
Doug, that would be a great experiment. Get a heavy piece of equipment to just bend a tree over until it breaks and record the audio of it just snapping.
No, we could do that.
Because remember how I said it goes and then it went bang, because I heard that first. Maybe that was the tree going and then it finally went kabam and snapped. That's probably it.
In chat, does anybody think that would create that noise? I personally don't think it would.
Right, but how would it recoil?
Because it wouldn't be the bang. It just would be the cracking.
Right.
And then it would hit the ground, and the ground would shake. Possibly there wouldn't be any of that big.
And there was no movement in the woods. No movement, no trees shaking. It was dead calm.
That just opened my mind up to a new possibility, Doug.
What
if we're able to recreate this sound by snapping a large tree? What if they just snap trees as wood knocks? What if that's what we're hearing? Because from across the lake, one could grab a tree.
They sound too hollow, though, Adam. They sound very hollow.
But they sound hollow to us far away. It'd be interesting to record that.
But I've heard wood knocks 3 feet from me numerous times. Joe,
that's true.
Remember the wood knock we heard 10 feet from us?
The very first wood knock I ever heard. It was at Snell. Yeah.
Describe that wood knock. It was loud and
loud and close. It was probably within 10 or 15 feet of where we were sitting. Yeah. And it was a single knock, but it was crisp and precise, and it was about 3 a.m.
Okay, so the question is, was it more of a quump, thump, or was it more of a snap?
Neither. It was that hollow baseball bat sound.
Okay.
Yeah,
baseball bat sound.
It echoed across the lake.
Yeah. All right. Something to think about. It's just
it's amazing.
It's
to think about this, but a lot of people think they do it with their mouth. Maybe they cup their hands.
Yeah, if he did that with his mouth, I wouldn't want to see the size of his mouth. That's for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
That's scary to think something could do that exploding thunder knock with their hands.
I so wish that we had it recorded. I really now it's really sad that we don't have it recorded, but what can you do? We're packed. We're waiting for the plane.
Yeah, no, I know.
We're going to roll till we leave.
And that's not when you expect activity on a sunny day.
No, noontime.
You don't expect it.
Yep, exactly.
Well, it was a great trip, though, and it was a great bunch of guys, and we all got along good and went very, very well.
But we definitely have to come home with footage next time.
Yeah.
That was so disappointing.
I'm going to start.
But we came back with a great story. We did a lot of interviews up there, caught a lot of the excitement. We do have a lot of great audio recorded. Remember the zip, 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 zip sounds that you heard?
Yep.
We have about 30 minutes of that now.
Wow, that's amazing.
Nice.
That I've listened to, and I listened to it over and over and over, and I cannot figure out what in the world is doing it. It's like if you had really huge hands and really dry fingers and you were trying to snap your thumb, you know?
Yep. So I'm really glad you hear that, because I'm like, I come tell everyone the story and I'm like, I'm not making this up.
Tell it quick.
Oh, it was just I walked out one morning to gas up the generator, and I heard this. Yeah, I heard this sound that sounded to me like electrical arcing, like like something sparking. And I went and turned off the generator to make sure that nothing was going to get electrocuted, and it kept going. And I was like, I'm like listening to it. I'm like, this is crazy. So I stood on the porch, looking in the direction it was coming from, and then I started waving. I'm like, hey, if you're out there, I see you. And that's when things changed. That's when I heard a darker, deeper something go like zip, 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 and like yell at the lighter zipping sound. And I'm just like, oh, that sounds like a parent telling a kid to knock it off. You've been spotted. And immediately after that dark sound, all the zipping stopped.
Well, apparently it was that same night. There was that same sound. We need to get together and I'll play it for you. It's pretty incredible. I mean, it's really crisp, and it goes on and on and on and on.
I spent like 2 hours looking for that noise. Would you got it on one of the audio recorders or what?
Yeah, it's on the audio recorder.
Yeah, amazing. I found it on. I think it was on Doug's recorder in the backyard. I think we found it. It goes on for a long time.
You heard it, Chris, didn't you?
Yeah, I sent it to you. Remember, I said I don't know.
Oh, you're the one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like I don't know if this is the zip sound, but listen to this, and it was just boom for a long, long time. Doop, 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 doop.
Yep.
But
yeah,
we got some crazy recordings. Wait till they come out, and if we can do something with that pine cone footage, I think people are going to be like, because it's crazy. I hope that
wasn't there something on the back deck at one point too, standing on that metal
on
plate?
The tin. Yeah, oh yeah, you can clearly hear something's walking on that tin. So they, just so everybody knows in our audience, they had a burner back there at one time to boil or to fry fish, and it was like a giant Bunsen burner, but they had metal that they had nailed down on the kind of back deck to prevent the deck from catching on fire.
Exactly.
And so, and you could clearly hear that thing walking on that back deck. The other thing that was clear was the picnic table going flying. Only one sound that could make that. And then the outhouse door opening and closing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that thing's latched.
Yeah.
And it's stuck. You have to lift it to get it to move over that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't open and close easy. You actually have to unlatch it and pull it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there was some real interesting activity there. Yeah. There's some creature, and you would think they've already played with all the objects around there, but I think they're I do agree that they're somewhat autistic.
Yeah. Then we got that one recording, something being dragged across the front porch, and we had a camera facing the front porch where the recorder was, and remember that, Adam? And nothing moved on the whole front porch, but something was being dragged across the front porch. And the recording picked it up, and the cameras are right on the front porch at the same time, and nothing's moving.
Was that the night that we were gone?
Yeah.
Me and Joe were gone?
Yep.
So you heard audio of the picnic table being dragged across.
Yeah, something.
And you had a camera on the inside of the cabin aiming out?
No, camera was on the outside aiming towards the cabin. They moved them around the last night, So we put it over where the clothesline was, and we made the cord look like it was part of the clothesline, so they wouldn't get into it. So it was facing towards the cabin, and then you clearly hear something being dragged across the front porch, and nothing moves at all.
But can you see that? You can see the porch? Good.
Oh yeah, plain as day. Yeah.
Okay.
The recorder is right in the bag, right hanging from the light. Doesn't even move.
Yeah. So the audio recorder picked up a very close, distinct dragging sound that was not on camera. There's nothing on camera changing. So that's really strange.
That is.
So Doug, what would you do different next year? What do you think we should do different?
Try more things. Maybe even some audio baits.
Let's go Squatch.
Every camera needs to be absolutely hidden. I do not want to use any IR lights. I'm willing to use some passive lights that are buried that would then turn on if something, just all they are is lights. They're not cameras. I've got maybe 40 of them here.
Okay.
And they just have a small passive sensor, and they turn on if they sense heat and electricity from a creature. That would be a cool thing to try. I've never used them before.
Cool.
Yeah,
I supplied them to Les Stroud, and Les never got around to using them either.
All right. I think we should get a big enough generator to where we can turn that gas one off at night. Just something big enough to run the refrigerator all night long, so we don't have to worry about the food, and then go quiet that way at night too.
We didn't run the generator at night, the first night or the second night.
That was it. Then we ran them the rest of the time.
Yeah.
But not the first or second night we didn't run any generator. Not when we had activity.
Right. Agreed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We didn't run when the generator wasn't running. They came in, but when that generator was running, they didn't come in.
Right.
Right.
So if we could get a battery operated one that's strong enough just to run the fridge, just to keep the food cold or whatever, then and then we could turn off the gas powered one for the whole night.
Yeah.
So here's a sound that we recorded with the shitty camera mics, and it could be vocalizations or it could be something scraping. Let me play it here. Maybe my mic can pick it up here. It's got a really weird tone to it. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You just have like tons of hours of stuff like this.
Yeah.
That's just odd. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is the hummingbird sound, Chris.
Yeah, what is that?
Well, it's the same sound that like Tristan recorded out west. It's the same sound that, was it MK had mentioned?
Yep.
The hummingbird sound.
Yep.
Other people have mentioned this to me and no one's talking about it.
Yep.
And it's the same thing. It sounds like hummingbird wings. Hang on.
The Bigfoot purr.
Sounds like it's coming from like a deep in the throat of some creature, or like from a hollow tube. It's very weird.
Interesting.
And so we've got a whole section in Legitimate Science on the hummingbird sounds. There's just so many people approach me when we did that show with Tristan that were claiming that this is something they hear all the time, and it literally puts them in a state of fear.
Wow.
Yeah. We took it a step farther, but we're not going to let that out of the bag though tonight. I tried it at my area here at Rock Throw Alley, and we had 3 of them coming on us, and they were coming. I mean, I got recordings. Rocks are flying in on us. There's voices. I'm going, they're here. You hear a woman's voice go, they're here.
David Ellis is in the audience chat. David, can you chat up about the hummingbird sound? Oh, there's got Chris. Tell him about how many peanut butter jars you went through at your study site.
Easy 100 to 200 jars missing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's one thing we should put out at Snell to see what happens.
Yeah. Apples and peanut butter. Yeah. Me and David, I got to finally talk. I told Doug, I finally got to talk to David the other day. We had a great conversation. Nice guy. Yeah, I told him all about my gifting area, what went on up there, and the hummingbird stuff. And so I used something about that with the hummingbirds, and we had 3 somethings coming in on us. And I picked up voices, and you hear the stones coming. And I sent the recording to Dave actually today in his email. And there's something with the hummingbird. I don't want to get into too many details because some people shouldn't know about what we're doing, but because they do mean harm to them, and I don't think it'd be a good thing, but it worked. So we have to keep on testing it, and if it works, then we'll use it at Snell Grove next year, and hopefully it'll bring us the prize.
It's very interesting. Well,
no doubt.
Go ahead, Joe.
I just said no doubt. It's you guys are very imaginative and finding creative solutions to try to find answers.
What's so frustrating though is when you do come up with a really good idea and then something else doesn't cooperate, which would have worked, magnificent, would have been magnificent if the weather would have cooperated. The porch idea, it would have been really a total magnificent idea, but it didn't work. And then you could have it again and they don't come around.
Right.
Beautiful lighting, they don't come around. It's just like, I say this and I don't mean it disrespectful, but I always tell them the monkey got the best of me.
Yeah.
Every time.
I want to throw something out to the viewers in technology wise. One thing I'd love to bring up next year to Snell Grove is a triangulation system where we put out multiple microphones and we can instantly tell what direction the sound came from and how far away it was. If somebody's already got a system out there like that we can just buy, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'll have to develop one. So
they use those in cities to narrow down gunshots.
Exactly. That's exactly what we need. Just know where that gunshot came from. Where did that noise come from? Where did the thunder knock come from?
Right. Exactly. Well, it's a good thing that you remember because I saw myself in a whole different part of that deck, and then you reminded me that day we were talking about it, where I was actually standing. So you were actually down on the deck, and I was up towards the house with Bud, and I had it all backwards. I thought we were on the deck, and you were up at the house. So it's good to have multiple people there when something like that goes down because, once you can verify what really happened, and then.
And did you guys say a tree was shaking too, where the pine cones were?
Right next to the outhouse. Yep.
How violently did
little
the
pine
tree
tree?
shake?
Yeah, it was just shaking like crazy.
Huh. No wind.
No wind. Oh, it was being shooken. Is that a word?
Shooken? No.
Shaked. It was being shaked. So
shaken.
Shaken. There you go. It was being shaked. It was just
shaken. Snapping its fingers.
Yeah, well, I wish we would have seen that tree being shaked while we were driving up there. We missed that one.
Yeah, we missed that. Yep, for sure.
I wish we got that on.
Joe, you missed everything.
I know. Although I've had my experiences up there, so
I know
I'm not dry.
The one that you definitely heard was when we believe it was the rod case that was just thrown against the cabin, and everybody woke up.
Yeah, we all woke up.
Except Letty. Letty did not wake up.
Letty stayed sleeping. But everybody else woke up to this huge bang. And not only did the rod case get thrown, but you know how heavy that picnic table was? That got thrown.
Across the deck, yeah.
And Doug and I just had to move that table just the last time we were up there just a few inches, and we were like, oh my gosh.
That's about how far we moved it. It was 2 inches.
Exactly.
2 men.
Yeah.
So it's heavy. So when that thing goes flying, it's got some strength.
Yeah.
It's not a bear.
It's absolutely beautiful up there, though. I got to add that it's absolutely gorgeous, and The cabin's not a rundown cabin. It's taken care of. It's not like you got rain coming in on you at night and stuff like that. I mean, it's if you ever get a chance and you guys can get up there, anybody that's listening, it's well worth the effort. And believe me, it's a lot of effort to get there. It ain't cheap, and you gotta be organized, or else you will never get there. You'll never get there. But if you do, it's well worth the trip.
Yeah.
Chris, I think you said it best when you said there's no one else around. There's no way out. The only way in is that float plane. So you're stuck there. You're just, you're all alone doing research with no other way of, anyone messing with your stuff.
Right. What goes down, goes down. You got nothing you can do about it. If it's going to break in and tear things up, you're going to be in that cabin and it's coming in and it's going to break in and tear things up. You can't stop it. You have to run. You got nowhere to run. There's nowhere to go. You can run as fast as you want and as hard as you want in one direction. And I guarantee you won't see nothing for 3 or 4 days, even if that.
Yeah, exactly.
Flying in there, just nothing. There's nothing underneath the plane. There's just nothing but lakes and acreage, and you got nowhere to go. So you got to be prepared for that up there for sure.
Yeah, and I do apologize for apparently I was telling scary stories, but they were just true stories from up there. If anything, I under exaggerated what went down.
Oh no, it's all good. No, it's pretty intense. I was going to ask you to tell one of them tonight. I'd love you to tell the story about the one that ran across the roof. That's the one that got me.
Yeah, that got me too because the skylight was open. So my first panic was to get that skylight shut because it's just, it's a kind of a crude skylight, but it lets hot air out when it gets, warm up there at the cabin. And apparently it was just open and I heard running and stuff. There was other things going on. It was rocks and sticks being thrown up on the roof. And you're hearing this thing running back and forth and screaming outside the cabin. So it was all three things going on. And all I wanted to do was get that damn skylight shut. And we never opened it, right?
No, we never.
The skylight. Did you see it? Did you even notice it?
Yeah.
You all saw it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I climbed up there and put some butter knives in it.
You did? No, you didn't. But yeah, that was probably one of the scariest nights I could ever relive. I just don't even understand what went down, except it was multiple creatures. I scared them because I walked up in the dark cabin, got in front of that window that faces the forest, flicked that one light on above me, and my, white hair scared the living crap out of them. I look like a ghost.
Yeah.
All hell broke loose.
Why you're wearing the baseball cap all week.
Yeah, exactly. I did too for that reason. It's like my disguise.
Well, you'll have to take to the salon and get your hair dyed next time so they don't know it's you.
I'll dye it jet black. Yeah, there you go.
Good idea.
I'll put on a fake mustache and dye my hair black. Well, because I was the first group to come up there after that nail board incident when that cabin got rebuilt. Yeah. And I was worried the thing was blaming me for the injury. That could have been another reason why they just went berserk. Yeah. When I walked up to that window, they were berserk.
So why do you think they didn't come in? That's the question there. A lot of people.
I don't know. They seem to have a protocol, that seems to be something they don't do very often.
You think they're allowed to do it? You think
maybe they're not allowed to? Who knows?
Yeah.
None of us know. But it sure wouldn't take much to get in the cabin. That's for damn sure.
No, if they wanted in, it'd come in.
They just come in. Yeah, they wouldn't even slow them down.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even slow them down.
They were right there. They were banging on the cabin. They were on the back door. They're opening up. They were right there, opening up the outhouse door, and they know how to open doors. Obviously, they know how to.
Oh yeah, and I have no doubt they're the ones that did the damage in the cabin because there was so much thing. There was not one claw mark, not one tooth mark. All of those shelves and everything that were there when you were the guys there, You didn't see any claw marks, teeth marks. You can't tear shelves off the wall if you're a bear without leaving tooth marks or claw marks. It's not going to happen.
Tell them about the playing cards.
Yeah, and they had torn. Joe, how many decks of playing cards were up at Snell
there
Grove?
had to be 10, if not more decks.
They were piled up
Just
that
piles,
whole back shelf.
Big stack of them.
Stacked with decks of playing cards. Every deck, every single one was torn into little tiny pieces. You know?
Yeah.
That takes hands, and it takes kind of this autistic brain to sit there and do that for hours.
Yeah,
Tear playing cards up.
Yeah, they got to it, and they couldn't get out of it. They had to finish what they were doing.
You know, and everything was damaged in the cabin except that animal poster still hanging on one staple.
It's still there.
It's in the video. That one poster it's got all the animals of Canada, and it was hanging by one poster. They smashed some idiot brought a boombox up there, right?
Yeah.
And left it, and that thing smashed that boombox into little tiny plastic pieces. Bent pipes in the bent the sink. You saw that sink, Chris, in the restroom. There's no way that a human's going to bend that down like that. Flip a 1,200-pound gas tank. Not break any of the windows. Yeah, one of the screens was kind of bent on the inside, but the windows weren't broken. The first thing a human vandal is going to do is grab rocks and break windows from the outside.
Yeah.
Right. And how are they going to get there? Going to fly their plane to that cabin and just decide they're going to tear the place up and leave again? No.
Oh, and then the other thing we haven't really told the audience is for the first time, one of the outfitters up there who owns this cabin came forward and told his story. It's actually a harrowing story of how he crashed the float plane, 2 miles from Snell?
Yeah, at that cabin, yeah.
So and he crashed the plane. He's bleeding bad. He's dripping blood all over. And they tell him he has to walk like 2 more miles to get picked up because the area had crashed. There was no place to land the float plane. So the whole way he walks, and correct me if I'm wrong, the whole way that he walks, he's being followed and something's banging on trees.
And rattling the bushes. He said he's taking a stick and smacking the bushes around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right. I mean, just being tracked for 2 miles bleeding through the forest to get to an escape plane, rescue plane,
And he told this story, and he definitely, he seemed totally open to the Bigfoot thing. And he said there's also a cabin that was abandoned many, many years ago near Snell somewhere. It was a trapper's cabin. Yeah. And they apparently that cabin was attacked and they abandoned it and have never been back since.
Yeah, the reservation.
That's the cabin Adam wanted to find and stay at.
Yep. Still do.
Yeah. I remember telling the story, just like he was waiting for whatever it was to come out the woods and get him.
Yeah.
He said he thought he was a goner. That's what he thought. He thought he was done. He thought that was coming out of the woods, and whatever it is, I'm done. He thought it was a big bear. And then it started beating the grass down and doing whatever it did. And he said it never came out of the forest. Never came out of the forest.
Never saw it. Yeah.
Never saw it.
But tracked him the whole way. Yeah. Apparently he had cut his head.
Yep.
And he had tied moss to his head to slow the bleeding down.
Yep. And this guy's a trapper. He's a wilderness guy. He knows what he's doing out there. And
he's a no bullshit dude.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. But to have a floatplane pilot and a camp owner admit such a thing is really rare. It won't happen. They've all seen these things. I know they have. None of them will admit it.
Yeah. Yeah, he found a trackway too. He found how many prints did he find, Adam?
He said he went to one of the cabins in the winter when they were, just checking on it. And he said he saw tracks that he'd never seen before. And he said, he goes, I know my tracks. And he goes, these are tracks I've never seen before.
Yeah, and then they just stopped. They went for like 8-10 strides and then nothing, just gone.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
there you go.
Yeah. I'm excited to go back next year. I'm excited. It was a great time to boot, but I'm excited to to see what we can bring next year and bring up to the table. And
yeah,
I know Bud wants to get out on the lake at night. It's his big thing. He wants to take the cameras out. He wants to film at night. He wants to patrol out there. He wants to sleep on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's just, we could have done so much more if the weather would have cooperated.
Right.
Yeah, we only had weather like that one other
I think
time,
you can,
remember.
by the way, guys, I think you can look ahead for next mid-August and look at the moon phases.
Okay.
We may want to adjust our trip a few days here or there because of the moon phases.
Yeah, go with a full moon.
Because I'm sure those what do they call, lunar tables? I'm sure you can get them and look at them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're more likely to come on with no moon.
Yeah.
But we need the moon for the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. For the cameras, forgot.
Yeah.
I'd love to take Rick Knoll. He's brilliant, man. He comes up with all sorts of cool stuff. The problem with coming up with cool stuff, though, is so often they get tried once.
Yeah.
That's a problem because you don't have luck. You think, I got to move on to something new. I don't think that way. I think you should stick with something until it, for a little while.
Yeah. Give it a more shot.
Give it a little bit of a chance.
I wanted to bring a lot more equipment with me, but Doug warned me against the border crossing. So
Yes.
that's the other thing, is how do you get a bunch of gear up there without looking like a weirdo?
Right.
Well, it's not that. It's they don't want you doing production up there without a permit.
Right. Well, no, I'm not.
We're not really doing production
We're doing
because
field research. We're not doing production.
yeah, well, it is field research.
It is
That's
field
exactly
research.
what it was.
It's
yeah.
just you're documenting your field research.
Could we mail it to the outfitter? Could we get away with doing that?
Yes, that's one way I did it before.
So we should look into that.
You mail it up to the
we got a lot of
outfitter.
things different we could do. We never, like most of us have never been there before. So now we're going back. Now we know what to expect. We know what the border is. We know what the layout is. We know how to get there. We know what it's all about now. So we can prepare ourselves. We can leave certain things at home that we brought with us this time that we don't even need, and just bring what we need for the trip, and we can get away with a lot of different stuff this time, I think. So it's always good to get that one under your belt out of the way.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Joe is with me today. We had this crazy coincidence thing happen, and Joe had chills too.
Oh, it was a special moment. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
It was a very, very,
One
very,
in a
very
billion.
amazing.
1 in a billion.
Tell us, Joe. Tell us.
No.
I can't tell you.
Okay. Hey, Doug, I can tell you something.
What?
On my way back from my brother's cabin this winter, I saw the puzzle piece. It flew in front of my car. I saw it.
What?
Yes. Totally forgot
Okay.
to tell you.
What's this? What's this, Adam?
Okay, well, I'll tell this story really quick. We were on speakerphone with Louis Anderson, the comedian, right? And we're driving south on Highway 53, and Adam was looking down at his phone. Louis was on the speakerphone, and I see 2 white things come out of the forest that I can only describe as looking like puzzle pieces from a crossword puzzle. And literally they flew right in front of the car and just kept going. And they were, that quick drone we played tonight, kind of like that. I mean, they were quick. It was zip. And by the time I realized what I was looking at, it was too late. So go ahead, Adam. I want to hear the story.
Same thing. I'm driving back, and all of a sudden this white, odd looking puzzle piece is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Just flew in front of my car. And it was just, it's 1 second it's there, the next second it's gone. But it came from, I don't know where yours came from, because I didn't get to see yours, but mine came from upper left, and it came down across the front of the vehicle as it was going. So it seemed like it was coming from about 15 or 20 feet in the air, and it flew down to about 5 feet in a diagonal path right in front
I
of
can
my
tell
car.
you, all of a sudden, I'm not going to just make up seeing a puzzle piece flying in front of the 2 of them. So it was 2 puzzle pieces, and they literally had that, the knob that plugs into one, and the other one had the negative to it, and they flew in unison, and from my left to right. I don't know what, I've never seen anything that weird in my life.
If there's listeners out there who've seen this white, translucent, kind of oddly shaped, it doesn't look like it should be able to fly. It looks,
exactly.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Well, I'm glad you saw a puzzle piece. What does this mean?
I don't know, but it was the same. It was the same road, about the same time of night. I was just coming back from, same. area.
Was it on 53?
I think it was. Well,
yeah, you got to go down 53 to get.
Yeah, I think it was
back from Uni.
In that same area. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe it lives there. I don't know.
No, it just goes in my gray basket and it'll stay there.
Yeah.
But now you said you saw one.
Seen it. I've seen it. It's weird. Really, really weird.
Okay, I'll have to talk even more about it later. Yeah. All right, we got to go. Thank you, everybody in chat. You guys are all so great and active, and everybody in the future who listens to this. If you've seen something you want to come on the show, you can contact Doug at UntoldRadioAM.com or Alex at UntoldRadioAM.com. Please subscribe. We're very near 5,000 subscribers, and would like to hit that by tomorrow.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. And we could hit it by tomorrow. So anyhow, thanks, Adam. Thanks, Chris. I should have said OG. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe, for being the best friend in the whole world. I mean, I can't even go
mutual, on. Bud.
Yeah, you are just amazing. Me and Joe have been friends for 35 years?
Easy, yep.
35 years now. Yeah. Best friend you could ever have. If you
a lot of experience.
Find a Joe in your life, God, just appreciate him big time.
Did we get
and
enough
Adam,
likes?
you're also a great friend. And Chris, you're a great new friend.
Thank you.
You guys
Alex,
are awesome.
And Adam, Alex, you're a really great son, except when you cheat on Google.
I was told a couple stories today, Alex.
There was a contest running during the show tonight to see if there was going to get enough likes for Alex to go to Snell Grove next year. Did we get enough likes?
I don't know.
Alex, are you going?
I'll drag his ass up there. Adam. I used to drag him up to those kind of places when he was real young.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much danger I was in.
No, you had no idea.
I tried talking him into it last time I was on the show. I said, "Can you come up with us?" He was like, I don't know.
Oh, you'd be a blast to have up there, Alex.
Alex would be fun, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be a blast. You would be, because I think it would be good for you.
Yeah, we
100%.
We could
I
pour
think Alex and I alone at Snell Grove for 30 days would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Alex, come on.
You can
A
do
couple
it.
of techie guys, yeah, for sure.
You just have to picture the day you're getting home. Don't think about the trip.
Oh,
I wish that could be possible. I wish that could happen. Snell Grove for 30 days.
Yeah.
And I would do that in a heartbeat. Not by myself. I would do it. That's for sure.
And Chris and Adam, I'm totally wide open to meet on Friday now.
Okay.
Friday.
Oh, about the other thing? Okay.
Friday.
Got it.
I'm going out of town again tomorrow, but Friday I can meet.
I got questions. That's all. It's going to take like 20 minutes.
Sounds great.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on the show tonight, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
thank you
Doug.
so
Thanks,
much,
Alex.
and thank you, you subscribers and the members that were in chat tonight. Love y'all. Everybody, stay safe, and good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
I call you up in the middle of the night, been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. I'll pick you up in my 59 Ford. We head on down the road until we get bored. Just you and me and the sun and the wind. If the rain should start falling, we'll head on home again. Everybody else can see where we belong. Oh, ain't no ordinary love we got going on. At the end of the world, together forever is one, and I'll wait if ever you should be